Okay, everybody. Welcome. And yes, we have some. I got to pull up my stream here and see what you guys are saying. So yes, we're gonna go over the problems with the security guard story. Big time problems. That should not be ignored. Well, hey, Grace. I didn't even tell Grace I was coming on. I was so busy today, you guys. And every time I got in my riding lawnmower for about half an hour and it started sprinkling and then it rained. And then I pulled back in the garage and went in the house and it was just that all day long. It kind of put me behind on stuff. So anyway, sorry for the late stream. And especially sorry to Not My Monkeys because she's got to get up early. So after this, I can probably come on earlier. I have stuff going on in my life right now, important stuff that not that this isn't important, but other important stuff. So anyway, that's happening, and then yeah. So the security guard, I'm, we're gonna see what's going on here because I'm gonna show you guys some things that you may have forgotten. And, you've heard other people talk about this interview with Patrick and the security guard named Tim from Wisconsin, the war vet or the military guy, security guard. And Toddy did she did something, her and Phil, I think, talked about it. And anyway, I had already talked to her about this. And so I'm going to give you my my take on things, and I'm going to show you what I saw. And I think it's pretty interesting because I'm going to. So anyway, by now you probably have questions, and I don't know when the next time Patrick's going to come on, if he's going to keep answering questions or what. And if he's watching this, he's going to have to probably make some adjustments. Anyway, so we're going to go to the security guard story tonight. We're also tomorrow, or that whenever the next live stream after this one, I have a couple more things lined up. Total entire live streams lined up. So I got we're going to talk about the Amish things, the stuff about the Amish aspect of this. And then we're also on another live stream, we're going to go over some other stuff that happened after the family got taken. And so I think all that's going to be interesting. And but we're going to start tonight with this security guard stuff while the story is hopefully fresh in everybody's head. Yeah. So I'm assuming, I guess it's safe to assume, I should say, that most people have seen the, here, I'll show you real quick. This interview here that Patrick had with this Tim guy here. And Patrick, you got to click the button, get the StreamYard thing off of here. You can, they're just, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, this is the thing that shows you how to click the comments on the screen. So yeah, you can get that off. It might help. But anyway, I know he's just starting to learn this YouTube live stream. Just like if I tried to do a Facebook live stream, I have no idea. I wouldn't know what I was doing either. So no shade about that. But I'll be throwing shade later at you, Patrick. So don't worry. Just kidding. Now, I like to be fair, right? I'm fair. I think I am. I try to be. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I'm gonna say hi to people in the chat. Then here's the order we're gonna go on this. I thought about what order should we do it. You know what we should do? We start at the beginning. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the beginning when this happened. And I'm gonna show you clips about the security guard stuff, right? Because I have them. And then we're gonna show you what happened after the family was taken with more security guard clips. Patrick talking about it, and everything has changed. And then we're going to go over this. And so you're going to get things in order the way I got them in order. Because by the time this interview came up with Tim, Tim is saying things that, because there's a lot of things in this interview here that does not match everybody's first story. Okay. Now, the only one I'm probably going to, I don't even know. I was going to give Tim the benefit of the doubt, but Tim has got different stories too from the first time. And we're going to go over that. And so here, let's put it this way. If Tim is trying to tell the truth, because there's two things that could be going on here. Tim could be on here just trying to be Patrick's buddy, trying to get on the, in on this social media, you know what I mean? Because Patrick is, kind of a big subject right now. So, and especially if he's ready to speak, because this hasn't happened. So this is kind of hot right now when he's speaking out. And so, it is. And I heard Tim say something like, oh, I know this and I know that. I know you about the contract and I know this and I know that. And there's a lot of things that you can agree with, but you don't know because you weren't there. So he vouches for Patrick on things that he could not possibly have known. But he also says, I'll be glad to testify for you, Patrick. And before you do that, though, Tim, you might want to watch this video because anyway, so we're going to go in order because that's how I find contradictions. I saw what happened in August because it started in August, this nonsense. And then it went into September. And then I've got clips from October when Patrick spoke about it in October. And then I also have this. So we're going to go in order so you can see what I'm talking about, how things just aren't lining up here. So back to what I was saying. There's two choices. Tim could be just maybe trying to be Patrick's buddy for whatever reasons, and agreeing with him on everything and maybe going along with some stories. Or second choice would be what's going on here is Tim is trying to tell the truth. Maybe he made some mistakes with his memory. Okay, I'm giving it like a little benefit of doubt. Maybe he's not remembering things right. And maybe Patrick is just using Tim to go back to the original narrative that Patrick had, if that makes sense. It will when I'm done here. Okay, so let's go over in the chat. So that's the plan, Stan. If you want to know what to expect tonight, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the original version. We're gonna go in chronological order the way it happened. All right, so good evening to Hash Brown. Did I miss people? It's starting at Hash Brown. So anyway, good evening. Oh wait, not Hash Brown. I'm in the wrong chat. Yeah, I did want to, I was just reading my notes. And I also, I forgot like the most important thing about the next thing. So I told you we're going to go over the security guard stuff. We're going to go over the Amish stuff. We're going to go over what happened right when Eric was with the family afterwards, okay? Because I'm going to roll out some stuff on that. But I almost forgot the most important thing we're going to go over next. The next live stream. The next live stream is we're going to go over why I think that Eric Carroll has not been arrested. And I've been doing some research. I've been doing some studying and some reading and looking up information. And I can't do a spoiler alert. But the spoiler alert is that that's what we're going to talk about on the next live stream. Not the Amish stuff yet. Because the Amish stuff isn't really. But you know how everybody's asking, how come Eric hasn't been arrested? How come Eric hasn't been arrested? And I said a long time ago, I said a few things. I'm not going to go back over it, but don't give up, okay, guys? Because I'm going to tell you tomorrow night or whenever I do my next live, why I don't think. Here, let me rephrase that. I'm going to go over information and I'm going to show you guys why I believe Eric hasn't been arrested. And I think it'll be pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't want to say a whole lot more than that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get my own chat up here. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Well, if I go live the next time I go live, if it's tomorrow, the next day, whatever. What is it? Wednesday today? Yes, it is. Okay, it was hump day. Or it is hump day. All right, so anyway. Okay, now I got my other thing that went back to the beginning. So good evening to dear Jane. Ready for commentary? Thank you, Jane, for being here. Tina, good to see you tonight. Glades, good to see you tonight. Red Frog, Tina, Not My Monkeys, Grace, D. Who am I missing? Nazarene, Alicia, Miss January. Susan says so much. Am I missing somebody, guys? Tina, Betty. Betty, I hope you're doing well. hope you're able to sleep and you're feeling more comfortable. Florida Life in the Sun. Ooh, I almost drove past you. Good to see you tonight. I love your new channel. Um, let's see. Tina, am I missing anybody? Okay, so hopefully I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, you can just say hi or something. Anyway, didn't mean to. Oh, and of course, we're going to have an appearance tonight by our faithful calendar. It's sitting right next to me, and this is like gold, baby. This calendar is gold. And by the way, I have a correction for Patrick, who corrected me. Remember the other night he said, "I left the Airbnb on Friday, Kathy. You need to get your facts straight." No, Patrick. I have it on my calendar here for Saturday. You left the Airbnb. And guess what? I have a clip that said with you, Patrick, saying that you left on Saturday. So if I'm not getting my facts straight, it's because you told me it was Saturday. Now you're saying Friday. Hello from DEGA. We'll hold right back at you. All right. Now, hopefully I said hi to everybody because I'm going to get out of the chat for a second, and we are going to I need to mute this. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Helps the channel. If I get a thumbs up, it's always appreciated. All right, so let's start first of all. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go over the clips that happened. Actually, I might turn the light on and show you guys something. All right. Here. You know what I should have done? I should have taken a picture of this and put it up on the screen so it would be big and you could see better. But that's all right. So first of all, we're going to start with when the security guard stuff came into the picture, okay? Because everybody's getting, it's very confusing, especially what they're saying now doesn't match what they said before. So we're going to start out at when it started. And that was the first we heard of anything was it was the evening of the 27th of August when they got the temporary restraining order against BJ. They were it was a celebration. It was a celebration with Patrick, Eric, and Dwayne. They were giddy. They were happy. They were excited. Their plan worked to get a restraining order against BJ. Now, although it was a temporary restraining order, which would never, Patrick or Eric, I'm sorry, Eric would never make it to the actual permanent court date. So anyway, but that's when it started. It actually, and if you're here, I'm just going to show you on my calendar. If you can see it now, let me see if I can turn this up later. All right, so let's look on here. All right. You guys see this? I don't know how good you can see it. This is my calendar. So we're going to go back up to here, okay? This is really hard to see through here, but all right, this is August. This is August. Here's the first day of September here, Labor Day. This day here, there was nothing going on. We didn't hear any trouble. We didn't know Whitakers were having any problems. We didn't know anything about Eric or Patrick, or any restraining orders coming or anything, but everything was calm and normal on this date. Eric was at his house and he was doing dad talk, and he was talking about the what ifs and maybe they should get trust funds set up because you guys, they already didn't pay the Whitakers for July, and now they haven't paid them from last week either for August, which was, I believe, 60,000. Wait, no, what? That one wasn't 60. This one was, I can't remember, but BJ's calling. She's mad because it's the second payday that they didn't get a dime. Okay, so he admits to fighting over the phone with BJ during this week. And then he makes up this excuse that, that BJ's not sharing the phone with Betty and Larry. They could have a heart attack any minute, and they're not sharing the phone. Oh, kitten just knocked a screwdriver off my table. Anyway, so just to get our bearings, okay, because this is where this is the week the security guard comes in the picture, okay? Because it's fine 1 minute, the next minute, Eric is in the vehicle. He's rushing back to Odd West Virginia. Patrick broke his leg, and Betty and Larry don't get the phone from BJ. So immediately he comes back. This day, they're already down at the courthouse trying to get restraining orders. The third day they got the restraining order. They're celebrating like it's New Year's Eve. They're happy and giddy. And they do live streams, okay? And in this live stream right here, and by the way, by this time, BJ has her first court appearance from being out on bail. And I think Eric and Patrick were hoping that she would be, put away or locked up. But it was a big nothing. Her case was transferred to circuit court. And anyway, but here is where they started talking about the drones, okay? This is the drones this week. So drones, and they called them the watchdog. Patrick later says it was Watchdog Whitaker drones to watch over to see if BJ was going to be on the property. Because remember, Wednesday they got temporary restraining order against BJ. So by here they're talking about the drones. Okay. And by the way, we're going to watch the video here. Here is the restraining order Wednesday. We're going to watch these from the 28th on Thursday. They might have been late on the 27th and uploaded on the 28th, but they're listed as the 28th. Okay, so this is right when they had the restraining order. Remember how happy they were? We're going to go over some videos from here, and they're going to talk about the security guard. All right. Actually, I'm just going to real quick before I pull away from the calendar. So the security guard, they talk about security guard here, but there's drones, and I think that's a different person and everything. And then anyway, we're going to come back because when Tim gets to his story, it's down here. It's around Labor Day, okay? That's important. All right, so let me get some security guard videos. All right. So all right, so from the time he's coming back, I'm going to show you. From the time Eric starts coming back, remember, they did the Monday, they lied to everybody. And they said that there was an eviction notice for BJ and they threw her out. Patrick and Eric claimed they did it. They made an eviction notice for BJ and threw her out. She was supposed to be out of their house like within minutes. And then they lied about that, and I proved that. And then they made a fake video where it looked like BJ was tormenting Timmy, but really it was just somebody driving by beeping the horn. So they fabricated that, and they fabricated stories about how dangerous BJ is. She's driving by the house, scaring the hell out of Timmy. Timmy's up at Patrick's. He's scared. Just demonize it and just, you know what I mean? And so then the idea about the security guard comes up. Okay. And this is already when he's driving back because, oh, she won't give Betty the phone. But the truth of the matter is, the real problem here is that they are owed about $10,000. The Whitakers are maybe 6 or 7, but from the month before, at this point, it's at least 10 grand. I think the second paycheck was 20 each. Anyway, we're talking a lot of money, and BJ's on their ass because they're not getting Whitakers aren't getting paid, and so he, in my belief, my opinion, I think there's evidence to show that he fabricates this story that, hey, instead of giving the Whitakers their money and the way that we shut up BJ, is to just get her off the property and get her out of there because, yeah, she's calling him out for not paying. So here is the video. I'm going to show you real quick. This is the video of, hold on a second, let me test the volume. This is the video of Eric flying back, and they are kicking around the idea of a secure. It's so bad, you guys. This is so bad. And mind you, there wasn't even restraining order when this happened. Okay, this is the day before the restraining order. Actually, like 2 days before they got it. I'm going to show you because I always include the date on these clips when I do it, so you can see for yourself. August 26th. Do you see that? August 26th. All right. Live with Patrick. Okay, this is the day that Eric is flying back to West Virginia because they got to get restraining orders. BJ's been kicked out of the house, and that was a lie. The sheriff Patrick says, sheriff's out looking for her right now. That was a lie. All these were lies. And I'm personally the one that proved it. And so I have these clips. I have all this. So this is on the Monday when they're rushing back and they make this lie up. And this first security guard they're going to talk about hiring is because of this fake eviction. Now, mind you, it's been proven there was no eviction. And as a matter of fact, Patrick himself has admitted that there was never an eviction notice. All right. After I already proved it upside down and backwards that it was a lie. All right. You would have to say, oops. Hold on a second. Okay, now it's the first we hear of a security guard. That's why people have the impression maybe there was 2 security guards. No. And as a matter of fact, down the road, you're going to hear out of Patrick's own mouth that there never was a security guard. All right, keep all this in mind. All right, so this is, remember, the Monday, just the day before. Everybody thought everything was wonderful. Haircuts and bowling alleys and pizzas and birthdays and everything's wonderful. The next day, here we are. Eric and Patrick have fabricated this emergency that Eric has to rush back. They need, and BJ's been evicted early this morning. Like, wait, what? Yeah, they worked on it all weekend. Who did? None of them even own that property. You can't evict out of your own camper on somebody else's property. Anyway, so now we know this is all a lie, okay? But this is the first that they bring up about, hey, since we got this fake eviction that we just lied about, let's get a fake security guard to go with it, right? So this is the first time that we hear about a security guard, all right? Now, this is not, this will not have to do with, anyway, just listen. There was a mention earlier about security guards. Around the clock, 24 hours, he said. So they're claiming that they have hired security guards. And Dwayne said, really, you got security guards? No, mind you, there was no eviction notice. This is all bullshit. But on this Monday, now this is days before even they got that restraining order, temporary one. This is just the beginning of their made up bullshit. Emergency. Yes, we have her evicted. The sheriff's out looking for her. She's driving by tormenting Timmy. Everybody's like, oh my God. And then Eric's rushing back. It's an emergency. They have to save the Whitakers. Oh, yeah, you guys, we hired security guards 24/7, round the clock. All lies. Hear that? But back it up. Yep, round the clock. Okay, he just did the Tumblr number 1, Tumblr number 2, if you notice that up in the upper left. But Patrick just said the guy is there. There's more than one. They take shifts. It's 24/7. There's shifts. They go in shifts, all these security guards. And later, Patrick will admit that this was all lies. I have that on video. Yeah. Wow. Oh. Okay. Tumblr number 1? No. Tumblr number 2. You guys remember this? I'm sure you do now that I'm playing this. Do you guys remember this? When he's coming back, how shocking this all was? Wait, what? Everything's not wonderful like it always is? All of a sudden, BJ's getting evicted, driving by scaring Timmy. Whitaker's all in danger. They got security security guards 24/7 round the clock. You guys remember this? It's all bullshit lies. They're both going along with it. There was a mention earlier about security guard that they work in shifts. Around the clock. Okay, so there has been a security guard hired? Yeah. Okay. In there. He sits down there and just waits. Can you hear? You can't hear? I can either turn it up or I'll turn on the transcript. Let's try turning it up. If that don't work, I'll turn on the transcript. Yep. Especially Eric's got kind of this kind of tinny voice. Turn it up and see if that helps. I'm just gonna ask to do a sound check. All right, glad somebody said something. If you can't hear it, I'll pull up the transcript. Try it again. It's only a 55-second clip. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay, so has the security guard hired? Yeah, okay. And they're I got some ideas to switch that up. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the next year. I'll have to leave it there right now. People are talking about fires, I guess. Did you hear that? Okay, everybody got that, right? And if the sound is still bad, I'll turn the transcript on. You can just listen to the transcript. Let's look at my phone follower so I can't see the comments. All right.
USA Facts believes government data.
Oops. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn on the transcripts then. All right. Hired security guard. All right. Here it is. Now, hopefully, I can get a transcript on a clip. Can I? Let's see if I can. Mosquito in here. No, I can only hear the first. Okay. Yeah, he had dollar signs in his eyes. That's for sure. I couldn't believe that actually that the chat was okay. So you remember this? Yeah. Yeah, and you remember that you're wondering why the chat. All right, let me see if I can do a transcript on a Yes, I do a transcript. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, let's just go through the transcript. All right. Can you guys read that? I can move a little closer if you want. How's that? Now that with the voice, you might. Well, yeah, you'll be able to hear who's talking. Okay, let's try this. We'll figure it out.
Let's see here. And there was a mention earlier about a security guard. Did they work in shifts? Around the clock, 24 hours. Okay, so there has been a security guard hired? Yeah. Okay. And he said, like, keep an eye on it for us, guys, so we can make sure they not add. I got some ideas to switch that up, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the next day.
See if he gets his restraining order and fake eviction.
People are talking about fires, I guess.
All right, that's the end of that one.
All
right. Next, we're going to go to. All right, that works. Okay, good. We have a few of these. Okay, now look, I want to show you guys. This was Monday. Okay, this was when it all started. Can you guys? All right, I don't know if you can see it, but okay. So this is the day that everything's fine on this Sunday. Hard to see what this thing is. Sunday. This is the day he's rushing back. Fake eviction notice. Lies about everything. Betty and Larry can't have the phone. They're getting round the clock 24/7. There's a guy up there keeping an eye on things 24/7. We'll see how it goes in the next few days. He gets something like 4 in the afternoon and still ends up at the courthouse with Betty trying to get her restraining order that same day after a 10-hour drive. Then the next day, him and Larry go and they still didn't get it. Okay, now we're gonna. So this is the video right here when it all started. That's what we just watched. That one. All right. So I want to keep our bearings here. All right, next. Okay, so you heard it. They're switching up ideas because you can see when the pauses, he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And he's got to wait and try to think of something when these questions come. All right, so let me get the next one. So anyway, we're going to go in order as it went through the week. All right, so All right. All right. Then also, let's see here. Now, once he gets to Odd, West Virginia, they're doing a live stream. They're really super happy. Okay, and here is where on okay, so this week they're doing live streams. Okay, I'm just gonna grab up the ones only about security guard. All right. I'm not looking in the chat right now, so. Oops. All right. And I got a few clips, so we'll go through them. Because here's what's going to happen. There's going to be talk. Well, okay, not even talk. They said they already have a security guard there, round the clock, 24/7. They're going in shifts or something. All right, and then once they get up there, they are happy as clams because they got the restraining order. We're going to go through that next. And they're talking about the security guard, right? And this is on August 28th. This is the day after. This is the day after, because they really haven't spoke too much, I don't think, during the last couple. Eric's been at the courthouse nonstop, police station, all this stuff. All right, so he's been busy boy. And now they're celebrating because they got the temporary restraining order. And now, like I said, this is the day that they're hoping BJ would probably go to jail on her first appearance in court, but she didn't. She was still there. So they're a little bummed out about that. They can't believe it, but yeah, she's at home still. We're not at home. She's out of jail, but she has to leave the property. You know what I mean? And so they feel like they're on their way to victory, or they had a victory. So let's hear what he has to say. Oh, here, we'll pull up the transcript so you guys can hear. Now, they're saying that the house is being heavily guarded on August 28th. Okay, that is just the day after the temporary restraining order. This is 3 days later, after they told us they had a security guard and all that nonsense. Oh, actually, you know what? I have the closed caption on this one, so that's good. Hopefully you guys can see the closed caption. It's already on here. Now, I don't know if my cat stepped on the keyboard wrong or something, but my closed caption right now comes really tiny, microscope size. So, but this is on there. If you guys can't see it, I'll pull up the transcript. Can you guys see this on the screen? Yes. Get a little closer. Oops. That. Are you kidding? All right. All right. Can you guys see? Oh, you can see it on the screen? Okay. So, yeah, if you can see the. All right. Now, here we are. Just 2 or 3 days later. They got the restraining order. All right. Okay. You can see it. All right. This one. This one's called House is being heavily watch guarded on August 28th from BJ with security. Yeah. He's probably exhausted from all these stories he's got to make up, and said, Patrick, your time to make up a story. And the question was, how do you know, Eric, when you go home, that BJ won't come back? And he says, Patrick, you want to take this one? Now, mind you, Eric has been here at this point He's been back in odd West Virginia 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and he will not be going home for another 2 weeks. So, people thought that he was going to go home. No, he was, and he probably knew darn well he wasn't going home. I'll get a little clearer picture here. Yeah. Anyway, so they're worried about what if you go home, because normal people go home. You know what I mean? Eric's probably thinking, I'm not going home. You stay here till I get. Damn it! All right, if you guys can see that. All right, let's do this. Oh, here, I'm sorry. He's doing Tumblr number 1, number 2, and almost every one of these clips. Oops. Sorry. Okay, now instead of the security guard 24/7 parked up at Patrick's house 24/7, now it's the neighbors are helping watch. I guess. And what happened to? Because everybody remembers they said, what happened to the security guard? And they're like, oh, it's the neighbors. See, it's only been 3 days into this scheme, and they're already tripping up on their lives. Yeah, what's going to happen? Neighbors.
When they or when I heard it in the past that the community is kind of pretty aggressive, watching over the family. I think there was some of that definitely.
All right. So you heard. Now it turned into, this is just 3 days later, turned into a security guard 24/7 there. And now it's the neighbors, because, they all watch out for each other and stuff. The story is changing. All right. Now I got another clip from, I think later. Here, let me see. It's either later in this stream or the same day, but it's also August 20th. Let me find that one. Now this one, this one, somebody's actually going to ask about the security guard, because remember, that's what he said earlier in the week. 24/7, they're switching it up. They're watching the place heavily. All right. And then he also tells about security guard being posted. So let's watch this one. Yeah. This is also, I think it's the same live stream, August 28th. Because, it went from security guard to neighbors. So now the chat is asking questions. Well, wait a minute. You said it was security guard. So, all right. Let's see what he says. And I think this one's got closed caption on it too. If you guys can see it good enough, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's got closed caption on it. Eric has stepped in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's down there. Okay, this is August 28th. Yeah, he's down there. All right, they're flip-flopping a little bit. Yeah, see how he's not looking at the camera. It looks a little deceptive, but they're saying, okay, what about the security guard that you told everybody about 3 days ago?
Yes.
Patrick and Eric are claiming there's a security guard down there. Remember this, because I have a clip from October, months later, where Patrick says, no, there was no security guard. That was all bullshit. Okay, spoiler alert. I have a clip where Patrick, I'm sorry. I have a clip where Patrick, months later in October, says, no, security guard story was all bullshit. And you can tell. You can tell. No, no.
Another question that came in from Loretta McGann, what's Larry saying about BJ going to jail?
Okay, so they were furious, to say the least, that Larry paid $500 out of their own money to get BJ out of bail after they've been not paid already once. And at this point, the Whitakers they've not paid them a second time. And we're talking, at this time, tens of thousands.
Will you still have a security guard posted? Yeah.
Lies. Yeah, he's down there. Imaginary security guards. No. Dude.
Another question that came in from Loretta.
Okay. You see that, right? Okay, got another one where they're kind of tired of the security guard questions. Okay, now, mind you, this is why people thought there was 2 security guards. Okay, but this is all bullshit stories. Because later, Tim is a whole different. Now, unless they're saying, now here would be a good question for Patrick. Patrick, how many security guards were there? Was there none and it was bullshit? Was there, round the clock, like a heavily guarded prison, like you said the other time? Or was it just Tim coming and going? Or was there 2? Well, I mean, what was it? Now this one is, okay, this is really interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay, how can I even explain this? So I'm going to show you guys something. I know I'm going to redo this calendar. Okay, I got to redo the calendar. I get it. I definitely do. But I'm going to show you guys, because then after this, this weekend, after all this, wishy-washy security guard story stuff, right? After this happened, they were flying drones down and at the Whitakers. This is a fact. The day after this video where they're saying about security guards, and the day after that, now they got the temporary restraining order. The videos that you just saw about the security guards, 24/7, all that round the clock stuff. Yeah, that was the day after the restraining order. Now, a couple days go by where they're just all being chill, right? And I'm sure the Whitakers were, at their wits' end, but Eric and Patrick were in like a celebrating kind of thing. The 31st, they were at the Airbnb where they're at the Airbnb where Timmy, where he got Doug down there to put the extra TVs in the bedrooms and all that nonsense. So that was that Sunday. This was Labor Day weekend. And so Tim is there. I mean, not Tim, Doug is there in the Airbnb putting up the TV and all that nonsense. We saw that. Now, on that day, on Sunday the 31st, is the day that they said again, Eric and Patrick said again, that they hired a security guard, and this guy is a a military veteran. Now they're talking about Tim. Okay. So they just let it at the, letting everybody think that there's security guards around the clock after a restraining order, right? Before and during and after the restraining order. Now, a few days later, it was Labor Day weekend, and he's doing a few Timmy dance, all that stuff, right? And then comes Labor Day. Now, Sunday, I just want to show you on the calendar. All right. You see? So on the calendar, this is when everything's fine. Trouble started, restraining order. All this week, they said they had security guards there. Then they said it was the neighbors. Then it's back to security guards 24/7, heavily guarded. All right. Then here, now they're partying with having the barbecue, okay? This day right here. And this matches up with Tim's story that he's telling now. This kind of matches up with Tim's story. On this day here, it's kind of hard to see, but it says Eric and Patrick hired a security guard. Okay, now this matches Tim's current story. Tim's current story that he called on a Sunday or something, and he showed up here on a Monday. That's what he says now. Okay, so we're going to go to that. Then it was there was only one video this day, only one. And this was a very quick 3-minute video or something where Eric is giving the used TV to the Whitakers. Remember that? In Patrick's Airbnb. Larry is mad because Patrick just posted the gas video of him stealing the gas, even though he said he wouldn't if he went to court, which he did. Now we're going to come to here on the 2nd, okay? Very, very important. Because on the 2nd, this is when Eric brought Timmy to APS. Remember, he had him all dressed up in his new clothes, and he brought him, and he got the papers for adoption, emergency adoption, all this. Now, there is rumors that Eric had the state police in his Airbnb here, okay, talking to him. And Patrick probably absolutely knew about it because he was there. All right, so let's go now to the 2nd, because this comes into where Tim said he got to West Virginia, he got all the way to Beckley, he says. And when he got to Beckley, he was told to go back home. Now that story doesn't make sense either, but I'm going to show you what happened on that day that he claims this happened. On that day, people are still asking about this security guard, right? And I'm going to show you a clip where Eric avoids the question. This is on September 2nd. This is the day that they're going to adult protection. And remember, at this point, Patrick's still in on the adoption with Timmy. He's still in. This is called Eric Avoids the Security Guard Question. September 2nd, security guard, and Eric had Patrick's phone, okay? This is when supposedly the security guard was calling Patrick. But and that was on Labor Day. But they didn't do a live stream on Labor Day. He had to be talking about this day. All right. So here, this is the day that Tim would have turned around and went home. But there's problems with Tim's story too. Because I've heard 2 stories out of Tim about what happened there. At least 2. All right. And I really didn't have a lot of clips, any clips of Tim talking about anything. I got the Whitaker clips on this. But okay, so let me see if we got a transcript, otherwise, closed caption, otherwise I'll pull up the transcript. All right, I'm loading that up.
We're about this part.
All right, it is closed caption, but it's got, anyway, you can't see it. So let me pull up the transcript. Now this day here, look, this day here, this is September 2nd. You guys, this is the day that Tim Tim said that, and this couldn't be. This could not. I'm telling you, but the calendar doesn't lie. Tim said that he was on a Sunday. Here's the thing that does match. Tim said he was on Sunday the 31st. He said Sunday, and I know it's his day. Sunday the 31st, Tim called Patrick, and Patrick said, yeah, it's all good. Come on down. And then Tim said, okay, I'm leaving in the morning. We're leaving in the morning, okay, which would have been Labor Day, September 1st. Okay. Now, you're going to ask anybody, Patrick and Eric did not do a live stream on that day. Okay. But according to Tim and one other account, Tim showed up on Monday the 1st, the day they were in the Airbnb giving the TV to the Whitakers. And they had the barbecue. And he said, I called during the barbecue, but that can't be because they didn't do it. And remember, Eric even apologized for not doing any live streams on Labor Day, Monday. He was too busy. He was cooking and this and this and that. He was too busy, but nonetheless. So if he means Tuesday, that means that he was there more than one day. That means Tim was there more than one day. All right, so let's listen what this said. Oh, wait, I was going to pull out the transcript. That's what I'm going to do. All right, let's see what he's got to say. This is on the 2nd. Remember, he's been telling everybody about these security guard, a military guy. They're talking about Tim. Military guy. He's from Wisconsin. Yeah, he's got an RV, all this stuff. All right, so let's we'll worry about this first. I know. Okay, they were talking about well, they got all these plans anyway. This is called Inside the Whitakers Q&A with Patrick and Eric, and they're doing this because they know everybody wants to know, like, what is going on. Anyway.
So the security situation with the Whitakers, I know you and got gentleman, I think it was one guy.
Okay, now listen, because people are confused. Wait a minute, you had one guy up there, then you had another guy up there, and now you got the military guy up there, whatever. So yeah, other people are getting lost with their stories too.
So the security situation with the Whitakers, I know you and got gentleman, I think it was one guy to provide some security. How's that looking? Any challenges? Anything going on there?
Watch. Watch this bullshit story he spins. Watch. I'll go back to the transcript, but you gotta watch him as he tells the story. He's very uncomfortable, and he's got to make up another lie.
Any challenges? Anything going on there?
Yeah, ask about the security guy.
Gentleman, one guy to provide some security. How's that looking? Any challenges? Anything going on there? Oh, I mean, well, she still showed up, still went in the house. That was only one night.
You hearing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was in violation of the.
You know, sometimes BJ can slip past an imaginary security guard here and there. So, yeah, I think we can all go through invisible security guards that don't exist. Did you hear what he just said? Did you see the wiggling and the squirming? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What? Watch it again.
Oh, I mean, well, she still showed up, still went in the house.
Okay, so this round-the-clock security guard, or team of them, whatever you believe, or the neighbors too. Everybody let BJ slip by. BJ showed up and did whatever she wanted. So now watch how this story, it just falls apart. He said, yeah, well, she showed up anyway, and yeah. So what happened? I wish you could see all of this. Can you see the transcript? I wish you could see their faces. We'll watch Patrick's face during this, because he knows it's all bullshit lies, and he's helping.
One guy, to provide some security. How's that looking? Any challenges? Anything going on there? Yeah.
Patrick's friend.
Oh, I mean, well, she still showed up. Still went in the house. Got the phone one night. And it was just really.
Oh, she's up to her old getting the phone tricks. She got past the security guard, went in the house, and took the phone again. The whole reason they got the restraining order is because she takes the phone at night into her camper. So yeah, she snuck by everybody, all the neighbors, the team of ninjas, and this security guy. And she just walked right in and took the phone, put it in her camper. Now wait, what? Because listen, this is after the restraining order is in place, the temporary one. So how in the hell is she down there? Your security guard is watching her go into the house, taking the phone, and there's a temporary restraining order, and nobody called the police? This doesn't make any sense. How come the security guard didn't call the police? Yeah, nothing we can do about it. Yeah, there was a guy down there, Patrick's friend. He was taking care of business. Well, she showed up. She still went in the house. She got the phone. And yeah, it was really, yeah. Bullshit. Mhm.
Oh, I mean, well, she still showed up. Still went in the house. Got the phone one night. And it was just really. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Phone bandits.
No.
They can't keep those stories. Did you hear? No. Yeah. No. So she was in violation of protection. Because listen, this is September 2nd. They got a temporary restraining order last Wednesday, and now it's Tuesday. There's been temporary restraining order in place 6 days with all these security guards and everything. But somehow she walked right in there, got on the property, went in the house, grabbed the phone, went to her camper all night, even though there's a temporary restraining order. And even Dwayne is like, wait, what? If there's an order, wasn't she in violation of the order? At the same exact moment, one said yes and one said no. You believe this guy, right? Yeah. Good story falling apart. Oh my God. So she was in the, because listen, Dwayne's in this dad talk business. He knows all about this. So he's look, he scratches his nose because that's what people do when they're telling a lie. He's dumbfounded, but he's really confused because he does dad talking. He knows about protective orders. And if you got one, why is she there? And how come the security guard and everybody else didn't call the police? You see how confused he is? Look at, even his forehead's all crinkled. Like, wait, what? Yeah, Dwayne, it doesn't sound right, does it? That's why you ended up splitting when the cop showed up. Anyway, so she was in violation of protective order.
So she was in violation of the protective order? No. No.
Okay, so why wasn't she? Think about this. Why wasn't she? You have a temporary restraining order in your hand. 6 days ago. The actually the permanent date is in 2 days, but Eric's going to split down tomorrow with his buddies. Go buy cookies. So this is in full effect. They cannot keep their story straight. Oh, okay. So yeah. Oh, this is good. Watch this. Remember, I told you I made a video about it, and some idiot called me mentally ill. But I told you that they were given hand signals for Dwayne to move on, and he gets a signal. And watch, he can't stand this. Eric can't stand this question about security guard. This ain't making sense. Why didn't the security guard call the police? Say, hey, this BJ's here again. She took the phone. She's got a restraining order. None of it makes sense. And watch. I mean, yeah. She went in the house, got the phone one night, and it was really, yeah. I mean, yeah. So she was in violation of protective order. One says yes, one says no. No, not the protective order. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she was in violation of the protective order? No. No. Okay.
Not just the protective order. So I guess she's in violation of other stuff. Now watch how Eric what he does. Oh God, my head hurts. Oh, Dwayne, move on to another question. Watch.
No. Oh, okay. So I do know.
Oh, I got pain in my head.
Well,
Did you see the smile, that duping delight on Dwayne's face in the middle of there? So yeah, no, not just protect for no, oh my head hurts. Oh God, my head hurts. Watch Dwayne. Just and watch the duping delight. Watch the smile.
well,
You see that? Go ahead. That's Dwayne. Move on.
I do know.
Watch when he's cutting this line.
So I do know. Oh.
Did you see that smile on Dwayne?
Did Larry get his truck back?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a way better question. Yeah, that's such a better question. Let's talk about Larry's truck. Yeah. You see how this shit's falling apart at the seams? All right, now we're just getting started. Well, thank you, Marshmallow. Good to see you tonight. Yeah. So you see how this is not working out too good. See, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Then you're just tangled up in all these lies, and I'll get a headache. Oh God, a headache. Then Dwayne smiles, right? All right, so let me see if there's any more, because then we're gonna go into after the family was taken, okay? I think I did the security guard posted one. Okay, so you see how it didn't make sense. One day they're there, the next day they're not. All right. Okay, so now let's fast forward. After the family was taken, okay. Do you see where I just showed you that Eric and Patrick had to pull some bullshit story? This is after. This is okay. What I just showed you, where Eric and Patrick were asked about, what about security guard? And see how they said, yeah, he went down. Well, BJ came back and she went and used the phone, and Dwayne's like, wait a minute, isn't she violating her standing order? Oh, I got a headache. All right, we moved on. Do you know why? Because that was the day after they told Tim to leave. Does it look like Patrick didn't know what was going on? That video I just showed you was the day or the day after Tim told to go back home. All right. All right. Um, okay. Now, fast forward. What you just saw when they fell to pieces, him and Eric, Patrick and Eric crumbled into pieces when they were asked about that security guard, and their story was so stupid. They should never try to think on their feet again. All right, so let's listen to something after the big blowout, after he's mad at Eric, after the family's been taken. All right, now this is in October. This is a month later. It's after all the damage is done. And this one's called Security Guard, Hell No. Reason for the drone watchdogs. Now, I do believe somebody was there flying drones. I believe. I don't think he was a security guard. But Tim's story is there's problems with Tim's story too, but here, let's just now, mind you, I was outside working and I ran in to get something, and I had to videotape this during the day, which is why I don't do things during the day, because there's nothing but windows glaring on my screen. So I'm gonna try to up where you can see it. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Now this one, Patrick is going to admit that there was no security guard. Now, you can decide. Oops, sorry. Dang it. Dang it. All right. This is after he's fallen out with Eric, family's taken, and he's spilling the beans. And this one is about the security guard. So let's listen. Oh, you know what? Oh, with that. You know what? Let's do the transcript, because he's just an icon on there anyway. So I'm just gonna, can't see him speaking. Okay. Asking about security guard with Patrick. Wait, I'm gonna make sure it's not. Okay, I thought it was on high speed. I might have this.
People apparently don't understand how things work around here. The drone. I was like, what the hell? What was the purpose of the drone? And flying over somebody or in the security guard? Was there a security guard? Hell no, there wasn't a security guard.
Whoops. Wait, what? Hell no! There was no security guard. You heard that, right? This is, I have this recorded on October 7th. Uh-huh. Listen again.
I was like, what the hell? What was the purpose of the drone? And flying over somebody or in the security guard? Was there a security guard? Hell no, there wasn't a security guard. Now,
You hear that? There was no security guard. Hell no, there was no security guard. Keep going.
what the hell? What was the purpose of the drone? And flying over somebody or in the security guard? Was there a security guard? Hell no, there wasn't a security guard. Now, see, I get lost because I don't remember that being said, but there was supposedly a security guard that was hired to protect the witness. I remember Eric saying he was gonna hire a security guard. He didn't.
He's laughing his ass off that we all fell for that security guard story. You hear him? His Pee Wee Herman laugh. You heard it. Watch.
I remember Eric saying he was gonna hire a security guard.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Ah.
I remember Eric saying he was gonna hire a security guard. He didn't get it. All right, well, I can tell you, okay? Yeah. There was security guards, and also,
What about, what was the footage, that was the story behind that?
Well, I thought I said that a minute ago. but I-
Yeah, you just answered that. You just answered that. You said,
Thank you.
watchdog, I'm sorry. Oh, no, again.
The purpose of that drone was at the time that everything was going on and I was out of the condo. The purpose of that drone was to fly and make sure that there was no kind of ruckus going on down there at Betty's. Like BJ being there after she had, that was during the time that, they went over and got that protective order against her. That's what.
Okay, the protective order that you now say was really fraudulent because now Patrick admits that BJ never hit anybody. He said the abuse was all a bunch of lies too. But at the time, yeah, they had the drone flying because why not, right? Make it rain. You have all that money, throw it at your friends. Yeah, so the drone was just a watchdog for Betty and Larry. But remember, them drones went over and harassed the hell out of the Whitakers. They're flying over. They're flying right up to the porch, stalking the Whitakers with that, menacing, you know what I mean? Going right up to him, and Larry was batting the thing away, and it was terrible.
It was just a watchdog. That's it.
So did that, the family decide to DJ and, you know, what was.
Yep, sure did.
Okay, right there, you heard it. The security guard, there was no security guard. It was all bullshit. All right, you heard it. Okay, but I got more. But wait, there's more. All right, wait, there's more. And then we're gonna go over Tim's story there. Okay, there we go. And now this is kind of a longer video. This one's 10 minutes, you guys, not just a clip. It's a long clip. And this is also Patrick spilling the beans on a panel in October. It's dated October 7th. I don't know if it's about around or about also on October 7th. And this is when Eric told this. Now, I don't know how this is even. All right. So somehow we're going to hear that Eric told the security guard to leave, that Patrick was going to be arrested for SA, and then something about the copper. But wait, if there's no security guard, and Patrick couldn't stop laughing at that question. You guys fell for that security guard. Yeah, because that's what you told everybody, and yeah, we believed you. Sorry we believed you, but yeah, we believed that. But it was ridiculous, right? And now we're gonna hear, we'll pull up some transcript on this other one. All right. All right, knock my monkeys. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Okay, one more clip, and then we're gonna get into Tim's interview. And yet, where are we at now? Oh, so this one's called Eric told security guard to leave. Patrick's going to be arrested. Now, it's funny he's saying this because he just said there was no security guard. Now, there's a security guard again. Let's see what he's got to say. They're talking about, and this one I'm going to try to play because it's a 10-minute clip. Here, but it starts out with the security guard, so this is what part I want.
What's nice about it, people, somebody is saying that it was you that said that they were gonna hire a security guard next military premises.
Mhm.
Do you remember that? I don't.
Yeah. Yep.
Ready to blow your mind, Patrick. He's gonna blow your mind.
It will absolutely blow your mind. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
So, let's see. This guy was supposed to come down here and he was supposed to, I was gonna let him pull his camper on the other side of my property for him to stay there, just so he could just, watch things. And I didn't hear from him for a long time. Like, he was supposed to come down here like around September. It's whenever I went to the Airbnb. I can't think of exactly what day it was. Like, I'm not sure on that. So I sent him a message.
Around the fifth, I want to say, September, is that, I think.
Now, the 6th of September is whenever I left, which was Saturday.
Okay, now listen to this. Patrick told me, said on a live stream, Kathy, you're wrong. I did not leave the Airbnb on a Saturday. I left the Airbnb on a Friday. Well, look, what's he about to say? Yeah, I left the Airbnb on a Saturday. That's what I said. And he said I was wrong. You're wrong, Patrick. Even I know more about your schedule than you do.
September is that, I think. Now, the 6th of September is whenever I left, which was Saturday. Okay. So I stayed there a week.
Yeah, and that is true. What did he just say? He said I left there on a Saturday on the 6th. Now he just said no, it was good luck. That's what it says. Patrick told to leave by Eric, 7 a.m. That's Saturday the 6th. That's what I said, Patrick. And you said I was wrong. Where do you think I got my information from, Patrick? I got it from you. Okay, I got it from you. All right, go ahead.
I sent him a message.
Around the fifth, I want to say, September, is that, I think.
Now, the
No.
6th of September.
The Friday the 5th is when Eric blew up the deal, the tweaky fingers in the camper and all that, and deal's off. Him and his buddy came back. Yeah. There you go. He just said he left on Saturday the 6th. Vindicated.
Saturday. That's whenever I came to the Airbnb.
Okay, let's see when that was. Over to the back calendar. I'm going to show you when it was. He's talking about the 30th. See? Here's where he was told to leave on this Saturday the 6th. He got there on Saturday the 30th of August. I don't know if you can see it. So he was there 7 days. Yep. And it's funny because Patrick, well, in his interview with his friend there, Tim said, "Oh, you told me you were down at the Airbnb, that you had to get away." Okay, so according to Patrick, he had been at the Airbnb. Now, this makes no sense. This is not lining up. Okay. Because according to this calendar here, you yourself said that you were in the Airbnb yourself from Saturday, August 30th to September 6th. And during that time, so yeah, this would be line up with one of the stories where Patrick showed up at the Airbnb on Saturday the 30th, and on the 31st is where this lines up. On Sunday the 31st, that's where I have them talking to Tim about coming down. Tim said, yeah, I can leave in the morning. I'll be there tomorrow. That would be Monday the 1st. That's when they're in the Airbnb giving the Whitakers the used TV. All right. So let's keep going because, like I said, little bits of this matches up. A bunch of it doesn't. Yeah. So. All right.
Whatever I left, which was Saturday. Okay. So I stayed there a week. So if you'll go back a week, Saturday, that's whenever I came to the Airbnb. But here's something right here. So this guy that I talked to, he's like, man, y'all come down here And this is, I'll say this thing also.
That's
And
Tim.
this guy right here will probably talk to you in person. Talk to you in
Tim.
some kind of way. I told him, let's see, on September the 18th, I sent him a message. I said, I want to know why you didn't come like you said you was, and I want the truth. And I said, you mentioned Eric.
Okay, now this is just weird. Because why did he wait till September 18th? He's acting like he's reading this off of his phone. Look at this. September 18th. Look at this is here. So this is where Patrick went to the Airbnb. This is where he talked to Tim. On the 31st is where Tim said, hey, I'll leave in the morning. And that was all cool. He talked to Patrick. On the 1st, Labor Day, is when supposedly Tim came down and was told to leave. All right. And they also said that you better get out of here because there's going to be, the police are coming because Patrick essayed Timmy or whatever. But wait a minute. They weren't even taken for a week later. So that doesn't line up. They weren't on their way on the 1st when supposedly. Now, when you listen to Tim's testimony over there at Patrick's page, he's going to say that he came, he was to Beckley, and they told him to turn around and go back. So him and his wife turned around, put it in the wind, and went back to Wisconsin. So he wouldn't even have been here during a live stream. You understand? Now, when he talks to Patrick in this transcript I'm about to show you, Patrick said that Tim came down and got a hold of him on Monday and said, we're here. All right. Now this would kind of make sense. On a Monday, Tim would have showed up in Beckley, and he said he called from Beckley, and he said, yeah, we're here. I need help setting up my RV. Now that makes no sense. Why in blazes would you and your wife need anybody to help hook up your RV? I have an RV. I can hook it up myself and level it, okay? Anybody who's got an RV, you don't leave the house hoping somebody at the campground can help you set it up. That made no sense. And Patrick already said it was going to be across the road, all right, in that little flat area. So the guy already knows where he's going. He doesn't, why does he need help setting up his RV? You got your wife. Now you got to look around for a stranger to help set up your RV. That makes no sense. But yeah, for anybody to tell him that you have to go because the police are on the way, no, that didn't happen for another 7 days. So that did not line up. I'm going to tell you what else didn't line up, and you're going to hear it in this clip. What else didn't line up is Patrick said that Tim came down, him and his wife. They said, hey, we're here. That would have been Monday, September 1st, Labor Day, when they were busy with their barbecue, right? And according to this version, Tim and his wife talked and everything was fine. And they said, you know what? We're going to stay the night in a hotel and we'll talk to you tomorrow. My wife and I are going to stay in a hotel. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah. He didn't put that in the story, did he? Now listen.
You still there?
Yep.
It says, because I want to introduce myself to Eric was showing him that video. I had asked him if he would land my camper, and he said, turn around and don't come back. Because things were about to erupt, law enforcement, and there was a big.
Now, why, like I said, why in the hell does anybody need to go get a stranger to help level your camper? I can, listen, a woman can do it themselves. You got you and you got your wife. Why do you need a third person to help level your camper? As somebody with an RV, I own one. It's in my backyard right now. Okay, why do you need help? That made no sense. Somebody said, well, maybe he needed to know where to park. No, he already said he's parking across the road. Who was flying the drone? They never gave the name of that person.
Fine. You still there?
Yep.
It says, because I wanted to introduce myself to Eric, showing him that video. I had asked him if he would let me.
Okay. It says, yeah, because I ended up introducing myself to Eric and showing him that video. Okay, Tim. Doesn't he have to be there in order to introduce himself to Eric and show a video? Because now the story is he got to Beckley and he was told to turn around and go home, and he did. Now, who the hell drives an RV across the country? Because listen, they get about, I don't know, 8 miles to the gallon, 10 if on a good day. And you're going to spend all that money to get down there and get told to turn around and go back without actually speaking to Patrick. This makes no sense. Right here, yep, yeah, it says, now he's supposed to be reading text from Tim. It says, yeah, I ended up introducing myself to Eric. Really? And showing him a video. That's in person. It's not matching what he's saying now.
Yeah, they know you were cut out. You broke up there.
Alright, so we'll start again. So, let's see here. We go back to where I was at.
Okay? Because he's supposedly reading text from Tim.
Called him, I said, I want to know why you didn't come like you said you was. I said, I want the truth.
Now, this is on the 18th. This is a week and a half after the family got taken away. This is actually 17 days since he spoke to him. Right? If this is September 18th and he's reading it off of the phone, this is not only as a family got taken away, even Eric went home. This, in fact, on the 18th, it was 3 days after the state police announced their investigation on these two. So then none of this makes sense. None of it.
I told him, I said, I want to know why you didn't come like you said you was. I said, I want the truth.
Okay, so why would you wait 2.5 weeks till after if the family's gone, everybody's gone, everything's over with, and you're sitting there 10 days after the family got taken away? Hey, why didn't you come down here? Who cares at this point? Why would you be trying to ask Tim why he didn't come down? Why wouldn't you ask him on the 2nd or the 1st or the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th or the 6th or all the other days? Why would you wait, 2.5 weeks? Why would you wait 2.5 weeks to ask him why he didn't come down? What's the point now? The family's been gone a week and a half. It's been over.
And
I mean, there's no need for a fake security guard anymore.
I said, you mentioned that.
I say fake because he said it never happened.
He said, because I wanted to introduce myself to Eric and show him that I had that video I had, asked him if he would help me level up my camper.
Again, leveling up your camper, you can't do it by yourself. 0 cents. So every time you go camping, you walk around the campground asking somebody to help you and your wife level up your camper? 0 cents.
Said, turn around, I'm not to come back. Because things were about to run with law enforcement and there was a big discrepancy between you.
Okay, now if he is talking about on the 1st and the 2nd, no. The big law enforcement blow up wasn't going to happen for another 8 days. That doesn't make sense either. Listen, if he was there on Labor Day and even the 2nd, we'll give him benefit of doubt and say he slept in the hotel with his wife and ended up just being told to go home on the 2nd. Still, they were still just making their first visits to adult protection. Nobody was taken. It makes no sense.
Then he stayed and he said, I stayed. I had a totally different purpose for coming, and I just need help leveling up my camper. He stated Patrick is getting or sexual whatever, claiming that involved him. And he has been dealing with the police in regards to the MC Club video, whatever that is, and became very direct.
What's a MC video? Is that a motorcycle video? What's a MC video? No, what's that? Is that a motorcycle? Wait, what? Claiming it involved Tim. Now this is Eric is telling Tim to go around. Oh hell, go back. Yeah, that neighborhood cat troublemaker just made his rounds over here. Okay. So what is this supposed to be? So Eric told Tim that better get out of here because Patrick is gonna get arrested for SA on Timmy. And it's in regards to the MC Club video. That's a motorcycle club? What's the MC stand for? Motorcycle club video? Wait, what? Anyway, continue.
To the MC Club video, whatever that is, and became very direct. They placed the states my camper once they arrest.
They're gonna seize his camper.
For proof.
Okay. How can the police come and seize Tim's camper if he never even made it to Patrick's lot, his property? Makes no sense.
And I asked him for proof, and he never replied. I didn't really know what the thing to say or do at the moment, but I knew that my gut was telling me that he wasn't legit. But at the same time, I have a $78,000 truck and a $95,000 camper. He said, I surely didn't want to take a chance, but my gut said no comp investigator was going to be in the info to that guy. So at this time, explaining to you, so I put it in the wind and came back. I called him 5 days later, right on Facebook, and he blocked me. And I said, well, maybe that should have told me. Well, maybe you should have told me that before you listened to something else. I knew something wasn't up. He had to leave you. He had you to leave. So you wasn't in the way of the truth. And he said, I tried to call your phone, but your phone was going straight to a lady voice, saying your voicemail was not set up.
And that was the day that they're asking, what about security guards? And like, oh, I don't know. Oh, my head hurts. Let's talk about Larry's truck. That's the day. So Tim might be telling some part of the truth, you know what I mean?
Multiple times, like I told him. And I said, so you drove all the way from Wisconsin to West Virginia to stay and help me protect me.
That's what I thought, motorcycle club. So what, Timmy was in a video with the motorcycle club? I don't even know. Oh, and how does that have to do with SA? You know what I mean? Like, okay, now we're talking a motorcycle club, SA on Timmy and Pat. And what?
So you wasn't in the way of the truth. He said, I tried to call your phone, but your phone was going straight to a lady voice, saying your voicemail was not set up. Multiple times, I tried to call him. And I said, so you drove all the way from Wisconsin to West Virginia. Stay and help me protect me. It was only on that phone because something Eric said.
That I found hard to believe too. Hey, Tupac, it's good to see you. I found that hard to believe too. With the price of gas, and you're going to drive all the way down. It's not like he, went up the block and they weren't there. No, you drive across the country and somebody tells you now Tim is saying that that Eric came on pretending to be Eric. That Eric came on Patrick's phone. They cloned Patrick's phone. Eric answered it, pretended to be Patrick, and Tim believed it. And went back home.
He was very convincing. That was still in West Virginia or not.
Remember, this is not the same story. He's supposedly reading text right now from between him and Tim. Tim said that he was all set up down there. Eric said that you're going to get arrested. Although this was a week, 8 days or something like that before that even happened. You know what I mean? So this story is not jiving. It certainly doesn't jive with getting to Beckby and being told to turn around.
He was very convincing. That was he's still in West Virginia or not. And I said, no, he's back in Georgia town where he needs to be. And he said, okay, good. Did you get that?
Yeah. And what was that?
Now listen, she's going to ask for the dates, and this is same as my calendar. Thank you. Toddy asked for the dates. This was so important because first of all, he didn't answer. He dropped off. I thought, oh, he's not going to give us a date, but he ends up coming back, give us a
Yeah,
date.
what was that, David?
Now, what was the date on that, Patrick? Now, listen, this is important because he's going to say it was the 28th. And you know what the 28th was? That video I just showed you where they're asking about the security guard. Oh, my head hurts. This was the day that Tim got told to go home. The 28th. And I showed you on the calendar and I showed you on the video.
I thought you said that was on the 28th of August. Is that what you said?
Yeah. He said September 18th. No, listen. Their conversation right here in the present is on the 18th. But he's talking about this happening back on the 28th, which also makes no sense because this was before. Again, it doesn't make any sense because that's the 28th is actually a week and a half before this should hit the fan. And the 28th, when they're telling him to leave, is actually 1, 2, 3, 4 days before he even showed up. So none of this is making sense. And when they asked Tim said, I came in October. And Patrick said, no, you came in September, which makes more sense if it was anyway.
September 18th.
But supposedly he's scrolling through his text messages, which have the dates on it. So Patrick's supposedly not going off his memory. He's going off and looking at his phone right now. Dates on the text messages.
Okay. No, I thought he left before that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Hang on. I guess he's texting me what happened. So I don't know. Hang on. Are you there?
Hey, you. If you call yourself a YouTuber.
Are you there? Okay.
So what did y'all not hear that I need to read again?
Yeah, what's the date?
The day that was sent was the day that I sent that me and him had that conversation.
Mhm.
The day
Yep.
he said that no, the day that he made the guy leave.
Yep.
He called
Yep. What was the day that you guys told him to leave?
names like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The day that he made.
Yep.
That day would have been, let's see. I'm going back here to my. I'm gonna get back here.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the same military guy with the camper. Yep. That's
Yeah.
Tim.
So that was.
Bam. Right there.
I've got to ask him. Okay. So, August the 31st, he said, I will be heading out at 8 a.m. Should take me 11 hours. What is the address that I'm heading to?
There you go. So it's on my calendar. What did I say? Look. what did I say? The 31st. This is the day he said, I'm heading out. They hired the security guard. He says, I'm heading out in the morning, which he would have arrived on the 1st of September. And what happened? They make up him and Eric and Patrick made up some story that they got rid of the guy or whatever. September 1st was Labor Day.
I gave him my address. September the 1st, he said, perfect. The same day, September the 1st, I said, you okay, bro? And he sent me back. He says, I sure am. I'm hoteling it for the night and back. I will be there first thing in the morning.
Okay, it's not what he said now. He said, I sure am. Are you okay? He said, I sure am. I'm hoteling it for the night in Beckley. I will be there first thing in the morning. That's it. It's not what he said this time, though, is it? And that was on September 1st, Labor Day, where they did no live streams at all. They did the little video at the end of the day because they were too busy with the barbecue and all that bullshit. All right. So on the 2nd, on the Tuesday the 2nd, that's where he was told to go home. Okay, so everything's fine on the 1st, Labor Day. Now, he didn't say anything this time about staying in a hotel. He said they got there, they pulled over in Beckley, and they said, we're here, and he said, go home. He turned around, put it in the wind. Nothing about a hotel this time.
The same day, I said, you okay, bro? And he sent me back. He says, I sure am. I'm hoteling it for the night and back. I will be there first thing in the morning. That's September the 1st.
Yep. Yep.
September the 1st, I said, call me before you go down there so I can meet you and show you where to park. I said, I'm away from the house for the night. And then I told him, I said, I'll call you in a minute. The same night, he said, I will definitely do that. I'm hopping in the shower real quick. So September the 2nd, I sent him a message and I said, touch base with you. And didn't get no response. Friday, September the 5th, he said,
Okay, that's interesting because the 2nd was the day that Eric brought Timmy to adult protection. They were going down and Patrick was still on the adoption papers. Remember that? We got the ring cam that proves that. Going down to get adoption papers on Timmy for Eric and Patrick. That's the day supposedly that he got told to turn around. Now, it wasn't until Friday, the 5th, when everything blew up and they're doing live streams. Eric and his buddies are doing live streams. The deal's off. Whitaker sucks. BJ sucks. Even Patrick sucks. He's done with this. He's done with everything. All right. So on the 5th, he supposedly didn't hear from him. Now, think about this. If I have somebody coming in from out of town, Sunday they say, we're going to leave in the morning. I say, good. Monday, he says, we're here. We're hoteling it. I'll be there in the morning. I'll say, good. And then Tuesday, he says, okay, I'm on my way down. I say, good. How come it isn't till Friday where I'm starting to wonder where the guy is? Again, makes no sense. That same day, I'd be saying, hey, where are you? Did you get lost? No, none of that. None of that for the rest of the day. Tuesday, not for Wednesday, not for Thursday. Now he's saying on Friday, he's kind of looking for the guy. That makes no sense either. Friday. Mm-hmm.
He said, hey, I see Eric made a video showing his spot victory and going home and walking away.
Yep.
I made a suggestion.
Squeaky finger video where everything blew up on the Whitakers. Mm-hmm. That's Friday the 5th. He's just surfacing now.
Showing his spot victory and going home and walking away from everything. I made a suggestion to him, maybe building a home on your land for Kenny, Lorraine, Kenny, and Ray.
Okay, so how come after the big blow up, Tim is talking to Eric, saying, yeah, I've seen everything blow up, but why don't you still build him a home for Timmy, Ray, and Lorraine, and Kenny? I mean, wait. What happened to you getting yelled at to go home?
Hey,
None of it makes
man, I
sense.
did. Just a thought. Sounds like Larry had BJ take Bennington courthouse to drop the restraining order, and there was no other way that could be squashed. Think about that.
No,
They said,
Eric didn't show up 2 days before. That's the other way, Tim. The only other way it can be squashed if you don't show up.
with an in-house caretaker, that would be perfect. So September the 8th, he sends me a message. He says, "Dude, Eric is trash. You like nobody?"
Okay, now we're into September 8th. This is the day the family was taken away. What's with these messages with him and Eric?
Business on Facebook. I just messaged him and told him that he is the reason after introducing myself. After I was already down there, I left.
After introducing myself, he's the reason I left.
He
What happened? You know what you're not hearing? You're not hearing anything about some phone calls where somebody was where Eric was disguising his voice to be Patrick. You're not hearing anything about a cloned phone. Nope.
told me to leave because Patrick was going to get arrested for sexual assault.
This is the day the family was extracted. Now, why is he still having friendly conversations with Eric if Eric told him to get the hell out of here a week earlier? Makes no sense.
After I asked him
You're still having friendly conversations, giving him some advice?
multiple times, what's the proof? He was continually messaging me, stating he had lost him. I then stated I don't believe him and then requested he stop making all this content so available to the public because of the MC Club video, saying the feature in it, and now I believe it was him that created the video. My brother says the video was wrong and edited. I don't know what video he's talking about. Let's see here. It would have been the video that he's talking about is oh shit. The drum. Okay. And then I said, huh? And then he said,
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, breaking news. We just got Patrick has just put up a video saying that there's not a problem with the security guard story. Yes, there is, Patrick. I've got less holes in my strainer, you know what I'm saying, than your story. So yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, well, there's problems with it. Oh, but thanks for watching. I appreciate that.
yeah. The drum. Okay. Oh shit. The drum. Okay. And I said, huh? And then he said,
No, he's
now he's posting your own business. I just posted that holds no water but probably 500 pounds.
no, that was the right Patrick Rock.
Oh, and the page that he's leaving. Then he said, my brother can still see the page. He has an attorney in there with him by the name of Robert Campbell.
Okay, okay, that's good. Keep going. Robert Campbell.
And the sheriff's department is praising him for his good work and dedication.
Okay.
He filed an emergency motion for tomorrow to get guardianship of Timmy. Arranging a house to be built on property donated to them by a guy 65 miles away from our West Virginia.
And by the way, okay, so now this kind of is true because we heard Eric say that when he was at the adult protection, the family got taken on the 8th on Monday, right? So Eric was with the family at the emergency room in adult protection with them on the 8th. He was there on the 9th, and he was basically told to leave on the 10th and go home. But yeah, so he did file the emergency papers. Now it says Timmy, Ray, and Lorraine, but it was just mostly Timmy, right? He said he didn't want the other child. He said it was too much work to have the other two, so he just wanted Timmy. But he told Adult Protection, the Adult Protection said, you can still get them a house built. And Eric said, well, I have to videotape him, because they said no more videotaping Timmy. This was after Timmy was taken. And they said, yeah. And Eric said, I ain't videotaping. And they said, all right, well, if you take Timmy, or if you build the house, you can't do any videos with Timmy. He said, well, how can I build a house without doing videos? Remember? Eric said that. He told Adult Protection that, it's the only way I can get a house if I do videos for Timmy or whatever. He was mad about that stipulation. So this kind of reigns true. They did say, well, you can still get the house built for them. You're just not going to be doing any more videos about them. And he said, well, I can't get them the funding. Well, that's what he said. I can't get the funding without the videos. But more than once, we heard that they're arranging a house to be built. It was going to be donated to them by a guy 65 miles away from Odd. Okay, if somebody's donating the house, then why do you have to make videos to make money for a house that's getting donated? You see? Tripping up their own stories. Okay, Eric, what do you need to make videos and make money off of Timmy if they're getting a free house from some guy 65 miles away?
I am 24/7 in the house care. Timmy will remain in Georgia and come home once a month for a weekend. The attorney is stating we got this from every single angle, and it helps the state when siding with them. Comments are being made that you are going to.
Yep, there you go. He was going to take Timmy, bring him home once a month. All right, claiming 24/7 in the house care. Timmy will remain with him in Georgia and come home once a month for a weekend. The attorney is stating we got this from every single angle, and it helps. It helps the state is siding with you. And they were at the time. But Timmy must have said he don't want to go home with him. Something happened drastic to and they did a complete 360 on that and said nope. All right, so as you can see now, I don't know what Patrick's over there squawking about, but as you can see, listen, videos don't lie. All right, now we're gonna Patrick's. Is it okay, Patrick, if I watch your video? Because I think you're a little upset right now, and of course you would be, because I got you saying a whole bunch of different things, and Eric. But I do thank Patrick for the view. Patrick, can you give me a thumbs up? I'd really appreciate that. And since you're here, all that. And all right, so now we're gonna go over here. Now, if you can't, now this is not a recording of a recording. This is just their live stream. So I don't know if, but we're gonna, if I have to turn on the transcript, we can. Wait, let me go back in the chat, see if you guys are saying, because I can't really see. Now we're gonna get into this, the current story, the new story. All right, so it's changed, right? All right, so let me see if we can get some comments in here. All right, is that top live? Oh wow, Aquas Tech, thank you so much for the $1.99. Yes, thank you. Do we have 53 likes? I appreciate that. Well, if Patrick, he's got to make sure he gives me a like. Patrick, can you give me a thumbs up, please? Thank you. How Patrick went along with this is crazy. Money talk, exactly. Kathy can't hear it. Can you do subtitles? I'm not sure how far back this goes. You can give someone an eviction notice, but if you don't file it in the correct number of days and get a court date, it's not exactly. Listen, I've had to try to kick people out. I used to be a renter. I mean, the one who rents to people. I don't really want to say a landlord because I don't like own a bunch of houses. It was some, I rented my upstairs to different renters. And yeah, it's like pulling teeth to get people out. Once they got their name on a piece of mail, you're screwed. Anyway. Yeah, so it says audio isn't clear. All right. Sorry if I missed you guys coming in. H2O, good to see you. Glade says, sorry, took a couple excellent PMs after watching them. Yeah, my mother-in-law, I think I told you that she used to take those. She couldn't sleep without them. Yeah. Florida says, I thought some security guard guy spoke to someone about this and was told to turn around and not come there. Yeah, they both lied so badly. Yeah. Nazarene says all they had to do was give the family their part. Yeah, and they wouldn't have to try to adopt Timmy. They wouldn't have to do all this. Just give them their fair share. So who is flying the drones? We don't know. I don't know who that was. Somebody was, and they were good at it. So it probably wasn't Patrick. I don't think he has drones or knows how to fly one. I don't know, but they were going right up to the Whitakers and harassing them on multiple occasions that weekend. Boy, everyone was getting a cut of the money except the Whitaker. Exactly. Everybody, the Airbnb guy, the drone guy, the camper guy, the security guards, even the imaginary security guards got money. Everybody but Whitakers. Hey, T, bro, good to see you tonight. Where I'm lost at is Patrick are telling about Tim and the RV and the security, but why then, when Tim is calling Eric, don't know who it exactly? And we're going to go over this because he's going to tell you that that he's known Patrick since the beginning of him doing the videos. He's been watching since the beginning. And so how can you not know who Eric is or Eric's voice? Yeah. How in the world they keep coming up with these lies? It is crazy. Thank you. My puppers are beautiful. Thank you, Marshmallow. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, beautiful. Noisy, but beautiful. I think a lot of lying going on. Yeah, they sitting there. All right. Good night to Nat, my monkeys. She's got to get up early. I'm here for Kathy's comedy arc. Well, thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Motorcycle Club. That's the MC club that's somehow involved in Timmy's essay. I know. It's a bizarre story. Hey, Tie-Dye Gammy. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. This does help the channel. Thank you, Aquatech, for the 199, 53, 56. Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Say it out loud. I don't think I said hi to you. Good to see you. Don't be afraid to click the button, and it don't cost. No, it doesn't cost anything and hardly no effort. That's right. Hey, Patrick, just posted a new video just for you. For you, Kathy. Jessica Hoffman. Hey, are you the person that they were talking about the drone stuff? I think I remember your name being with not the drone. Oh, you talked to you. I think your name came up the other day when on this video here that Patrick did. Weren't people in the chat saying, "Hey, Jessica did a video about this"? Thank you, Jessica. Patrick knew it. Oh, thank you, Grace. All right. So now we're going to go over this. And if you can't hear, let me know. Because now this is the latest version of the security guard guy. Remember, it was bullshit. No, it was all bullshit. There was no security guard. It was bullshit. Is BJ getting clean, or she's still drunk enough? Well, she was on Suboxone last we saw. Going to the Suboxone clinic or something. I don't know. So I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. People's lives get immediately better, you know what I mean, when they get off the shit. All right. So I think
I can hear you good.
Oh,
I can hear you now.
you're loud.
You can't hear me?
Yeah. Really loud. What did I just do with the? We turn down a little bit because I think it's too loud. All right. Oh, that was a. I'm sorry, that was a question on here about BJ. I got two streams going, so I'm getting the comments mixed up. But that's a good question. That's from Not My Monkeys. All right, so I think this is gonna start around. Something. Let's see what it has to. Let me know if you can hear it.
That's seeing like a thing where people are like, I don't know if they're asking questions.
They're just they can hear you and stuff like that. It's just
all right. So,
Oh, different Jessica. That was Brian's. Okay, Jessica. I'm sorry. Different Jessica. Wrong Jessica. I thought he was talking about you when he said that. We should go over the video he just posted. He's posted the text from him and Tim. Maybe we should. I told Patrick to just post everything. I'm sick of everything calling him a liar. Yeah, he should. Maybe he should. And is that what he just did? One second. Okay, so he didn't like that I was questioning his text. Oh, I didn't say he was lying about the text. I'm saying he's supposedly reading the text because we don't know. Everything's allegedly, right? Oh, thank you. Oh, it's a short 5-minute one. All right, hold on. We're gonna click over to this other video before we watch this. Because he's got text, okay? And I'm not doubting he's got text or, but how come none of this matches up? And how come you told everybody that there was no... All right, here we go. Attention, all shitty... He said no, there's no problems. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sorry. I was like... Because my title said there's problems. There is problems with security guard. Listen. Okay. Oh, shit. So I can't be pushing buttons on here. I might end up in the parking lot. All right. It says no problems with security guard story. Attention, all shitty content creators. Well, you're not talking about me, are you, Patrick? Come on. You mean... Oh, you're talking about the other content creators. I know. They are shitty, aren't they? All right. Let's see. I don't know if there's any sound on it. All right. Go over Patrick's video. I'm playing it for the shitty content creators. He wants me to play it for the shitty content creators. Which isn't me. No sound, Patrick? All right. That's good. All right. Hold up. All right. All right. Everyone's safe this morning so far? Yeah, still good. Because, okay, and this is August 30th. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the text and the dates on it. And this is Tim's phone? Or no, this is from Tim. Okay. So Tim, because, they're pretending that everybody's over in danger over there at Whitaker House. So I guess he says, everyone's safe over there, from BJ. And Patch says, so far, because, anything could happen, right? BJ could, peek out the window with her tweaky fingers at any moment. He says, everyone's safe this morning. He says, so far, okay, still good. I'm getting everything ready. Okay. This is Saturday, August 30th. Now, this is the first day. Yeah, I'm going to put this. First day in Airbnb. This is Patrick's first day in Airbnb for Patrick. Now, Patrick, I know you're listening, obviously, because you're responding. You gotta admit that you were going along with some pretty effed up stuff that Eric was, doling out. You co-signed it, man. You just, it's better if you just cop to it. Just say, okay, I did it. And then it'll be over. All right. Dang it. Hold on a second. I should not be pushing buttons here. All right. All right. You'll be okay. Saturday the 30th of August. That's Patrick's first day in the Airbnb. And Tim said, absolutely. You coming this way? He said, absolutely. Oil's in the camper. Camper bearings are greased. Yeah, blah, blah. All the maintenance. I'll be ready to roll in the morning. Oh, hey, I have a drone. I will bring it with me. It's a Unique Typhoon, super badass drone. Flies 55 miles an hour. Well, you could get over the Whitakers in like 3.5 seconds. Silent, super good camera. This is all because BJ's so dangerous. And then Patrick ends up saying a month later, no, she wasn't dangerous. It was all bullshit. I just flew the drone for the first time in months. So this is a different drone person. Because this is August 31st, and they've already had, hold on a second. Yeah, and they've already had drones flying over there. We saw the footage. So this guy also has drones. He's talking about the drones. Huh. You can hook it up to your TV, voice stream, all that. We'll have to throw Timmy off with this thing. It can lift 15 pounds. Hook a ghost up to this thing and fly it past him. Watch him go. What the F is that? I'm not sure really what they're for. I will be heading out at 8 a.m. Should only take me 11 hours. What's the address? And this is Sunday the 31st. This is the day that Eric's in the Airbnb and Doug's hooking up all these extra TVs for Timmy. And he gives an address, says, perfect, thank you. And he says, are you okay, bro? I sure am. I'm hoteling it tonight in Beckley. I'll be here first thing in the morning. All right, now this is Monday, September 1st. Exactly what I said. This is Labor Day when you guys are having the barbecue over at the Airbnb for the Whitakers. And Eric's bitching because he can't watch Ray ride the scooter. Well, I didn't even get to watch him ride the scooter. I had to do all the cooking. And then he rolls out that used TV and presents it to the Whitakers. Yeah, that's this day. And so Tim and his wife, whoever he's with, makes it to Beckley on Monday, September 5th. Okay. Exactly what my calendar says. But you're saying that you're hoteling it in Beckley. Now, you told everybody in this other video that you came down and were told to leave and you turned around and put it in the wind, you said, and went home. You didn't say nothing about staying at a hotel in this round. But anyway, call me before you go down there so I can meet you and show you where to park. I'm away from the house for the night. It's because he's in the Airbnb. I'll call you in a minute. This is the Labor Day party they're having. All right, I'll call you in a minute. Tim says, I will definitely do that. I'm hopping in the shower quick. Then now we're into Tuesday, September 2nd. Okay, now this is the morning that Eric is bringing Timmy to the adult protection meeting at some back room in a coffee house. And Timmy's all dressed up and he's getting the adoption papers for Eric and Patrick. They were both trying to adopt Timmy at this point. And this is the day that they had the appointment. Now, I don't know if Patrick went, but he was still in the running at that point. Okay, so yep, just so far this is what I said and what I got. Touching base with you. This is Tuesday, September 2nd. Patrick said touching base with you. This is Tuesday. Trying to see. So this is at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. 3 in the afternoon. He says, Patrick tries again. Are you okay? I gotta sharpen the pixels on. Oh, it doesn't get any sharper. Never mind. It's hard to see the dates, but it says okay. So Tuesday, touch and base with you. He's trying to get a hold of Tim. A few hours later in the afternoon, he says, "Are you okay, bro?" And there's nothing. That's September 2nd. Now days go by. And now on the 3rd is when Eric's friends come in, and he leaves with the friends on the 3rd and the 4th, and Eric comes back on the 5th. All right. So for 3 days, Patrick is not talking to Tim. Last he said, yeah, Touch, are you okay? This is Tuesday. Not hearing back from Tim. Doesn't hear back till Friday when Tim says on Friday, September 5th, this is when the deal blew up. I can't see the time, Patrick. The pixels aren't good enough. Let's see. September 5th. I don't know what time it is, but it says, hey, bud. This is Tim speaking. Hey, bud. I see Eric made a video showing he spotted BJ and he's going home and walking away from everything. I made a suggestion to him, maybe building that home on your land for Timmy and Lorraine and Kenny and Ray might be a better idea. Just a thought. Now, here's the problem with this, Patrick. Well, I'm just going to keep going, but how come when you finally get a hold of Patrick, you're telling him about this, about he's still telling Eric, plans for building this house and stuff. Now this is not the same story. I made a suggestion to him, maybe build a house on your land. Okay, so Tim is offering up Patrick's land. Yeah, I said, hey, why don't we build a home on your land for Timmy, Ray, and Lorraine, and Kenny only? It might be a better idea. Just a thought. Sounds like Larry had BJ take Betty to the courthouse to drop the restraining order. That didn't happen. Eric missed it. As there is no other way it could be squashed about that. Now, Patrick did read this word for word. I just read it a minute ago. So no, he missed it. Betty didn't go nowhere and cancel nothing. With the house caretaker, that would be perfect. With the in-house caretaker. Okay, now this is all the way Monday, and this is Monday the 8th. Hard to see. Monday the 8th, I think it's at 9:35 p.m. Dude, Eric is trashing you. Can you guys see that? All right. Dude, Eric is trashing you like nobody's business. Yeah, he was doing that for days at this point. But anyway, glad you caught on because he's been trashing Patrick all weekend. But on Monday, the 8th, and now this is the day that the family was taken. Monday the 8th is when they extracted the family, the 3 of them. Dude, Eric is trashing like nobody's business on Facebook. I just messaged him and told him he's the reason after introducing myself, after I was already down there, that I left. He told me to leave because Patrick was getting arrested for SA after I asked him multiple times where his proof was. He continuously messaged me, stating it involves Timmy. I then stated I don't believe him, and then requested he stop making all this content so available to the public because of the motorcycle called the MC Club video I seen with BJ in it. Now she's in it? BJ's in the motorcycle club video? Wait a minute. I told him to stop making all this content so available to the public because of the motorcycle club video I seen with BJ in it. And now I believe it was him that created that video. My brother says the video was chopped and edited. Did you guys ever see a video with BJ in a motorcycle club? I missed that. I didn't see that. Anybody got that? That'd be great. And Pat just says, just like Timmy. Just like Timmy. And Tim goes on. He is now posting your own private business of criminal records on the page of Patrick. Is no good for the Whitakers. I just posted that it holds no water, as there's probably 500 Patrick Rourkes. So now I'm blocked from the page. Can't see it anymore. My brother can still see the page, and he has an attorney in there with him by the name of Robert Campbell. Okay. And this is interesting because they're saying that that Eric's got this attorney with him, Robert Campbell. And this is when this is the day that the family got taken away. Supposedly Eric says, yeah, I got an attorney, Robert Campbell. The sheriff is praising me. Eric's a big hero. They got him on his shoulder like he just, scored the winning touchdown. My brother can still see the page, and he has an attorney in there with him by the name of Robert Campbell. And the sheriff department is praising him for his good work and dedication. He has filed an emergency motion for tomorrow to get guardianship of Timmy, Ray, and Lorraine and arranging a house built on the property donate to them by guys 65 miles away from West Virginia, claiming 24/7 in-house care, and Timmy will remain with him in Georgia and come home once a month on the weekend. The attorney is stating, we got this from every angle, and it helps that the state is siding with them. Really? Eric thought he had it all wrapped up in it with a bow on it. The attorney is stating, we got this from every angle, and it helps that the state is siding with them. Comments are being made that you are going to try to get custody of them, but the attorney piped in and said that that right is terminated for you because of a felony and an incident that involved a firearm and something about stalking charge. This shit is really getting out of line, my friend. Well, I don't know about the rest of the stalking charge, but listen, I believe that Eric knew this all along. He made it to make it palatable, okay, to make it easier for people to accept. He said that him and Patrick are both going to get custody of Timmy because that's what people were, two dads and Timmy, right? Eric can't say, I'm going to get him by myself because then the Patrick supporters would have piped up and said something. So he made it seem like it's going to be both of them, knowing that he's going to pull the rug out under Patrick because of his criminal record. I believe that he knew this ahead of time and figured, okay, Patrick will be knocked out of the running and it'll be just me. I've never been charged with anything to do with the firearm. Yeah, I didn't see that. I will vouch for you on that. I've seen his record, and I don't see anything about a firearm. Yeah. Anyway, Tim says, that's what I was trying to say to him, but he blocked me. there are probably many people with the same name. Okay, now I got a question here. Something that really doesn't make sense to Tim. Okay, so Tim got turned away by Eric supposedly on September 2nd, right? Told to go home. After having been there at least one day, if not two. But yet somehow a week later, Tim is still communicating back and forth with Eric. How does that make any sense? Tim is giving Eric helpful advice. You should build the house. You should do this. This should be that. Where is the complaints of Tim that Eric was disguising his voice to be Patrick? Why are there still friendly conversations up until 2 weeks after he got told to go home and see? Don't make sense. That's what I was trying to say, but he blocked me. Okay, so you got all this to say to Eric for 7-8 days after you got told to go home. Not one thing in here about disguising his voice. How come, Eric, why'd you disguise your voice? You know, none of it. So he blocked him. There are probably many people with the same name. No, that was him. Now the sheriff department fired up and told him they want the list of people that paid any amount of money to do with a video of Timmy. So my brother posted that it is irrelevant as that is for Timmy and has nothing to do with Eric's nonsense. My brother probably got blocked now. We'll probably get blocked now. I can't believe the sheriff department is active in this drama. Oh yeah, they were. Just doesn't seem right legit, you know what I mean? Now we've heard that the sheriff and the police were down with Eric in the Airbnb. I don't know if that's true, but they were over there making their plans in the Airbnb, and that's when Patrick was still there. All right. You know what I mean? I'm scared that Eric is going to make some shit up to get you in trouble, as he obviously already has. How far will this you go with? How far will he go with this? Oops. How far will he go with this? Eric must be perfect to be cutting down another man like this. Where I come from, people like Eric eat their teeth quickly. They do that in Wisconsin? And then I think Patrick did the okay sign. Patrick's a man of few words in this conversation. My gut tells me the state is building a case against BJ, and after they check everyone out, BJ will be going for a ride. No, that didn't happen. Gut was wrong on that one. Eric won't get placement because Betty and Kenny are capable. Larry might get snapped in half too. No, that didn't happen either. And that was Tuesday, September 9th. This is the day. This is interesting. This was still, the day after the family was taken. And the investigation isn't even going to open up till the following Monday. So if the sheriff's already asking about money, that's kind of interesting. And this is after Eric called off the deal. So of course the money is an issue now. You said for months you're going to give this home for the Whitakers, and you took in all this money, whether it's for the home or not, and just walk away like it's no big deal. Anyway. I don't know what this says up here, but he said, why do I need that app? So Patrick, Tim sent Patrick this app, and Patrick says, why do I need that app? And Tim says, your name has come across the scanner 3 times. Oh, this is a police scanner. Your name has come across the scanner 3 times in Raleigh County. Someone stated it on Eric's page, so I downloaded it and I heard it for myself. It was a sheriff asking if they were active to move in. Reply was not yes. Oh man. You guys, this is the actually, so what it is the communication with the police. They're about to, so he's got a copy of the police getting ready to take the family. Your name has come across the scanner 3 times in Raleigh County. Someone stated it on Eric's page, so I downloaded it. I heard it for myself. It was a sheriff asking if they were active to move in. Reply was not yet. I guarantee you Eric is behind it. Patrick says, I really don't give a fuck. I've done nothing wrong. Tim says, that's what I've been saying to everyone, every one of these people. Trust me. Eric is a little bitch. Don't like the guy or anything about him. Now, still, it doesn't say anything that, yeah, he faked his voice and pretended he was you. That's never come up. That, you know, that's new. The faking the voice is new. Patrick says, let them come to my house and arrest me. I'll sue the F out of them. Done. Got a lawyer. I'll be waiting on them. Good, good, good. I have a feeling they're going to try to make making false accusations. Patrick says, they'll fuck up when they come to arrest me because I'll post it all over Facebook. And then Tim said, so will I. Patrick says, I'm not worried about it. Tim says, why doesn't Eric just go home? Because remember, Eric was there all the way until the 10th. This is probably the day he went home. I think this is September 10th. I can't read it. But yeah, because Eric was there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday after the family were taken, waiting to get Timmy. Supposed to bring Timmy home, and they said no. After the 3rd day, they said no. Why doesn't Eric just go home? It's because he's waiting to get Timmy. Count me in for helping in any way you need it. Patrick says, I want to know why you didn't come like you said you was. And I want the truth. You mentioned Eric. Okay, now he might tell about the change in his voice, right? Because upon introducing myself to Eric and showing him the video, okay, now this had to be face to face. How can you introduce yourself to Eric and show him a video unless you're face to face? Because upon introducing myself to Eric and showing him that video, I asked him if he would help me level my camper. And he said to turn around and not to come because things were about to erupt with law enforcement. And there was a big discrepancy between you and him. Now remember, this was the day after the Labor Day party, when they're still arm in arm, Eric and Patrick. There is no discrepancy. All right, he said turn around, not to come because things were about to erupt with law enforcement. And this was 7 days before they even came over. So yeah, things were already percolating, getting ready to go. Isn't that something? Can you imagine? Eric is doing this. He's doing the adult protection. He's filling out the papers. He's going to plan on taking Timmy away from the family. Ray and Lorraine are going to go into home. All this, he's talking to the police. He's with the sheriff. He's with the courts. All this behind the Whitakers, behind their back, while he's in an Airbnb entertaining these law enforcement people, right? That the Whitakers are paying for that room, by the way. But Eric's there, and then guess what he does? Then he goes and he plays nice with the Whitakers, brings them a couple things from the grocery store, And he's over there and he's, chumming it up with the Whitakers when he's doing this behind the scenes. This takes a special kind of evil to do this. How can you be nice with the Whitakers face to face, acting like you're helping them, and then go and doing this the same day behind the scenes? Doing everything to try to take the family away. And the whole time, Betty and Larry are saying, "You're trying to take our family away." Eric's like, "No, I'm not." Gaslighting. No. I know all this is happening, but no, you're wrong. And they were vulnerable and pliable enough to believe it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just can't believe this. Yeah, this big thing is about to erupt with law enforcement, and there was a big discrepancy between you and him. I stated I have totally different purpose for coming, and I just needed help loving my camper. What was the different purpose? Anyway, then he stated that Patrick is getting arrested for SA or S whatever, claiming it involved Timmy, and has been dealing with the police in regards to the motorcycle club video, and became very direct that the state police would seize my camper once they arrest you. That's ridiculous. That's when I asked him for proof and he never replied. I didn't really know what to think or do at that moment, but I knew my gut was telling me that it wasn't legit. But at the same time, I have a $78,000 truck and a $95,000 camper. I surely didn't want to have to take my chance, but my gut said no cop or investigator is going to feed into a guy that is at the time acquainted to you. So I put it in the wind and came back. I later called him about 5 days later, right on Facebook, and he blocked me. Patrick says, "Well, maybe you should have talked to me before you, I think, believed somebody else or something like that. I know something was up. He had you to leave so you wasn't in the way of the truth. I tried calling you, but your phone was going straight to a lady saying your voicemail was not set up. Multiple times I tried calling." Patrick said, and this is what I didn't believe either. "So you drove all the way from Wisconsin to West Virginia to stay and help me to protect the Whitakers, only to run back home because of something Eric said?" Yeah, that was hard to believe for me too, Patrick. And Tim says, "I did." He was very convincing. Now, is he still in West Virginia? No. Patrick said, "No, he's not. He's back in Georgia, exactly where he needs to be." Yeah, on the 10th. This must be the 10th or after, because he went back on the 10th, the day Charlie Kirk was shot. Tim says, "Oh, good." Eric says, "You got played." Patrick said, "You got played." Now, this is all the way in September 19th. 11:25 a.m., I think. Patrick says, "You up?" And he said, and then he says, "Yeah." And Patrick says, "LOL. Had to come to town, just touching base with you." Nothing. "Dude, you okay?" You went silent again. I don't even know what that means. Special coding system. I don't know. What does that mean? Source: JB Tools Incorporated. Fluid film, special coding system. That's weird. And on September 24th, now this is long after everybody was taken, everything was done. It was a week and a half after the State Patrol announced their. So I don't know. This is way into September. "Hey, this is Tim. Who is this?" Patrick says, "Funny." Tim says, "Is this Patrick?" Patrick says, "Yeah." And then Tim says, "Oh, is this a new number?" Patrick says, "No, same." Tim says, "Oh man, I honestly was messaging you on a different number." Uh-oh, so you're calling the wrong number, messaging? Maybe that's why he didn't get your messages. Okay, so he had the wrong number. Yeah. How the hell you not know this is my number? Tim says, "This number you are messaging me on is not programmed in my phone. No joke." Just said you had the wrong number. He shows it. "I still have the plan to come down." Well, it's a little late now. Come down from, I mean, if you want to visit, I guess, but the Whitakers are gone. "I still had the plan to come down. I have my grandson's football game tomorrow and then Saturday, and then I can head down." And Patrick said, "Okay." "I went up to the cabin and got it all set up for winter, so nothing's in the way of coming down. Any news with Timmy?" Patrick said, "Nothing yet." "Damn, I feel bad for him. No new news?" Patrick says, "No news." Now this is towards the end of September. Patrick says, "I just want you to know that the first time you and I talked the other day, I recorded our conversation." Wait a minute. On this interview that Patrick did with him the other day, they said that they've been talking since last year, since he started. Okay. Different story now, I guess. "I just want you to know," Patrick said, "that the first time you and I talked the other day, I recorded our conversation, not as in to affect you, but to have proof that Eric had bad intentions." Patrick says, "Hopefully this doesn't change the fact that I think your character is straight up, but I also have to protect myself." Yeah. Tim says, "I don't care, man. It doesn't bother me." Now, this is the end of September. I don't know why, it's water under the bridge at this point. "It's not against you, bro," Patrick said. Tim says, "Oh, dude, I understand. No worries." And Patrick said, "That MFer is trying to set me up, and it has to be told." Tim says, "What's he doing now?" Patrick says, "Well, he had my phone, so it's hard to tell." "Well, actually, the police have your phone at this point." "Did you let him use your phone, or is the hacking of your phone, or is it the hacking of your phone?" Patrick said, "No, I didn't let that son of a b use my phone. Remember, you said you called me and he answered." Tim said, "Yep, he sure did. I still think he had your phone hacked, forwarded to his, and who knows what else." Oh, and that's a picture of Eric with, I think, his daughter out on a baseball field or prom or something. I don't even know. This is the end of September, and Patrick's laughing at the picture. All right. And then and this is now we're into October 4th. Well, September 29th or something. Patrick says, "Just touching base with you." October 4th. Patrick says, "Damn, bro, you just drop off the face of the earth, don't you?" "Yeah, for days at a time, weeks." Then Patrick says wow, he really dropped off. September 20-something, he tried reaching out to Tim. October 4th, he tried again. October 12th, he tried again. I have someone that wants to talk to you about what took place with you and Eric when you came down. Are you willing to talk to them? I'd rather you tell them what happened than for me to give someone that recording." Patrick said, "Let me know." Then Tim finally gets back on October 12th, says, "Sure, I don't care." And then right away, Patrick said, she tried contacting you." And he said, "When?" She texted you. It's a Florida number. Oh, I don't know if I recall a Florida number calling. Patrick says, hi, can you be available between 3 and 5 for this lady to talk to you? October 13th. She's calling you. And then he says, question mark, hell. Tim says, why are you letting these content creators work you over? Your name has already been cleared, man. From, well, I don't know about that. They were warming up the handcuffs. From every angle, me talking to her could actually get me into trouble at this point. These content creators are not going to help you. What is going to help you is my word to the police, mistakes initiated, and a time stamp with the date. That's all I can say right now, man. And October 14th. First off, Tim, I wasn't trying to stir the pot, but I've reached out to several times to talk to you. I don't know why you see it as a problem that I'm trying to protect myself from getting thrown under the bus. You went silent and you're still silent other than yesterday's message. And the day before message I sent to you. I don't know why you feel it's a problem to tell the truth. After all, it's my ass on the line. Well, Tim thinks it's his ass too. How is it? And then, okay, then more time goes, but wow. And that goes from October 14th. It skips all the way to November 9th. So it's, what, 3 weeks later? Tim says, how's it going down there? Oh, Patrick feels a little shunned, I think. He says, I wouldn't know. Patrick says, so how do you figure my name has been cleared when it hasn't been? This kind of don't make sense. I don't know if there's something missing, but he says, nice, honestly, bro. Oops. Tim says, I am honest, 150%. Patrick says, make it make sense to me then, bro. Tim says, how the hell can a guy do that when only you know the story and truth? Just because I wouldn't talk to this nutty content idiot doesn't make me a liar. Who's the nutty content creator? I think I know who they're talking about, but anyway. Patrick says, I'm not even talking about that, dude. My whole point is you telling me that I'm in the clear and I have nothing to worry about, but yet these mother effing West Virginia State Police think they're going to try to put all this on my ass, and that's not going to happen. Tim says, sounds like Eric paid up. He paid the no, he didn't. I don't know how many times he said he paid the Whitakers, but he didn't. Tim says, sounds like Eric paid up. Oh, is this around Thanksgiving? Sounds like Eric paid up. He paid the Whitakers $133,000. Sounds like you have to make your payment. Or yeah, they are talking some major felony charges. I honestly thought you were already in the big house. You thought he was in prison? Well, try returning Patrick's calls and you'll know that he's not. Patrick says, LL, right. Eric didn't pay me shit and only paid the Whitakers, and I had our own personal account and nothing else. Get effing real. Eric hasn't paid shit to anyone. Tim says he actually has. Patrick says, well, you can make those felony charges and blow that shit up someone else's ass. Because this guy right here hasn't done one effing thing that was fraudulent. And then Patrick says, you take care. And Tim says, good luck to you. Now this is all the way, now we're into December 2nd. He sends him something. I don't know what that is. What's that? Oh, Ashley Fitzgerald. He's still making Timmy, I don't know, I can't really read it. I don't know, you know what that says. Patrick says, something you need to say, bud? And Tim says, no. It was just a federal link to something I thought she might like to see. Something that would let her see more clearly what's going on with the charges. Patrick says, when this is all said and done, the real truth's going to come out and I won't be part of it. And Tim says, Patrick says, believe what you wish, pal. Tim says, come on, dude, be realistic. You haven't paid Betty her portion of what she's due. In my eyes, that is selfish. 1,000% selfish, greedy and wrong in every way. However, you have no idea what's coming your way on Thursday, but I do. Patch says, right. Can't wait. Oh, they are getting a little snippy with each other. Tim says, also, your scam on that car was pretty brave. You made your bed. Now you have to lay in it. Your 1 year of scamming versus your 20 years in federal prison for interstate commerce and illegal crimes over state lines might not weigh each other out. You'll have to let me know when you get out and if it was worth it. You're probably going to be in Montana or Florida to do your time, so you will probably have a grand old time. Why would he be in Montana or Florida? Anyway. Patrick says, dude, you've bumped your effing head. You don't know what the F you're talking about. Car scam, question mark? Crimes over state lines, question mark? Whatever you're smoking, you need to put it down because it's not helping. Tim says, got that. Okay. Now we're into January. Oh, he says, hey. He says, got that. Okay. Yep. Now we're into January 20. Oh, this is after the arrest. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, we're into Jan. This is Patrick got arrested on the 16th, I think. Hey, did your house get broken into while you're in custody? He said, yes. I just seen that posted on Ashley Fitzgerald page, and I wasn't aware. Had to double check. Oops, hold on. Too fast there, scrolling. All right. I had to double check. Did they take anything? Probably. Was that Larry and BJ? This is too blurry to read. I can't read these screenshots. I think that's about Ashley Fitzgerald. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah. All right. Now we're into February 5th. Are you talking to these content creators? Patrick asks. Tim says, nope. Now we're into March 7th. Damn, dude. Is that your house burning down in that reel you posted? Patrick said, no, it's a brush pile. Tim says, oh, good. I was like, oh, man, what is next when I seen those flames? That is one heck of a bonfire. These screenshots, and he says, oh, these screenshots you sent me were sticking up for you, but when they're all running their mouths the day you got released. I've never spoken to any of them personally. I had one lady reach out to me begging to do a random question interview, and I told her absolutely not. Her name was Toddy. It's been fairly quiet otherwise. Toddy said she was starting to believe in Patrick again, and I told her I have watched her switch sides multiple times and I would never consider talking to her. Patrick says, yeah, she's a effing moron. And this is March 21st. Don't know her and don't want to. She reminds me of a spread all rumors kind of person. Patrick says, yeah, she sits on the fence. And then there was this thing. I don't know who made that. This picture was kind of funny. It was I don't know who, I can't remember. I saw this on Facebook. It's a picture of like Patrick has got some plaque and it looks like the mayor or something shaking his hand. And in the background, Eric is sitting there with his head down in a plain t-shirt with handcuffs on. Like it's the tide turned. Then the last, getting to the end here, March 11th, he sent Patrick that picture. Patrick said, that's funny. March 11th. I think it's March 11th. Oh, I'm sorry. No. May. Wow, it went from March all the way to Monday, May 11th. This is just last month, right? I challenged Eric 3 times on this live feed tonight, and he wouldn't accept me. He wouldn't accept the add me challenge so I could join his live feed and squash his line ad. Listen, Eric will never have somebody on a live feed, and he won't even look at the chat. So yeah, nice try. Patrick said, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Oops, crap, I just lost my spot. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's funny. All right. Well, just about at the end here. Okay. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I can't stand him. Me either. He can't even keep a story straight. Well, yeah. Some other people can't either. I have one truth that's aligned with facts. That was May 12th. There's Eric and his buddy. Here's Eric again. And yeah, he has lost some weight, hasn't it? Well, anyway, there he goes. That was it. That was the text between, and that's interesting. Now, I don't see any text now. I don't see any that, hey, you want to come on my show or anything like that. That might have been a phone call, though. Who knows? Who's counting at this point, right? Anyway, so that was interesting. Let me get back in my chat if I can find it. Yeah, problems with the security. So yeah, well, thank you, Patrick, for posting that. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Anyway, all right, I'm just gonna get back in the chat. See, I'll stop at the bottom, start at the bottom, go up. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Oh my goodness, I am way off here. I'm gonna have to refresh this. All right, let me go on my phone. Pick up your guys' comments. I'll get back into the chat here. So, yeah, but I still have to insist that Eric or Patrick, I'm sorry. I still have to insist, Patrick, there are problems with this story. I still have to say that. Now, I'm not gonna get back over to into the interview again because it'll take another couple hours to do that. If we go back into Patrick's interview, but I think we've gone through a lot tonight. And let me get back in the chat. This thing is just taking forever. Oh, here, I'll go on my phone. All right. Stacks of the racks of my snacks. All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pick up where I think I left off. Hey, Patrick. Okay, here. Patrick just posted a video just for you. Well, thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Jessica, for the heads up. Okay, yeah. Say it out loud. Said we should go over it. We did. I told Patrick just to post everything. Yep, right. Jessica says next time you ask for a thumbs up, please unblock for response. Who's blocked? Next time you ask for thumbs up, please unblock for the response. I don't know what even what that means. Grace says who's blocked? Yeah, well, Kathy, you must be making him nervous. I don't know, Tina. I don't know. Download before it's deleted. Well, I got it now. From what I've seen, you've always had his back. Patrick is very fortunate to have your support. Yeah, Jessica, I do know you're always you've been solid with Patrick. Patrick knew nothing about it, he said. Grace, I have good judgment. Betty says, Kathy, Patrick is watching, responding to your video. Well, thank you, Patrick. I'm very humbled that you're watching my videos. Well, he does lie. He said he would pay the Whitakers. That's true. St. Carol strikes again. Oh, it's late. Yeah. If Eric told him that Patrick was going to get arrested for S.A. Timmy, why would he suggest a week later to build? Exactly. Thank you, Dream. That's what I'm saying. If all these horrible conversations happen, why are you still buddies with him? And why are you suggesting to build a house? Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes, Grace said, good question. I agree. Yep. What's the date on this message? I tried to read the date. Some of them are small. And it won't let me get the pixels up any higher. Nobody else seen Tim pull up in his big RV? I don't know. Because there's a discrepancy. Did he get to Beckley and turn around and go back? Did he get to Beckley and stay in the night hotel? Or what did he say? I'm hoteling it for the night. Guide him out. Or did he meet Eric? He met Eric and showed him a video. Okay. These are all different. None of them can be the same. You can't say, well, he did turn around and go back and never show up. No, that can't be the same as meeting Eric. It's not the same as parking your RV. None of them can be the same. Sometimes you can say different things and it can still be all true, but in this case, it's not. Eric involved Mass. Yes, exactly. Hey, Bridge. Involved Robert Mass and all his friends, and ain't it crazy they were never introduced, Pat? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Never once said, hey, this is Robert Mass and his friend. No. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's lying to Betty's face about tearing. Yeah. Mason, you're here to tear my family apart. No, I don't. I would never do that. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. You guys ready to tear the family apart? Okay, not yet. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Yep. That's because Tim told him once again he would come back down there since Eric was gone, and he ghosted him again. Exactly. So how reliable is Tim? Every time he starts talking to Patrick, it disappears for 3 weeks or a month or two. Good morning to Ramsey. Ramsey Truth Brothers. Oh my goodness. I think I've seen you somewhere before. Anyway, welcome Ramsey Truth Brothers, 7777. Kathy says, hi, Kathy. Good to see you tonight, Kathy. Say it loud, everyone. Good to see you. Ramsey Truth. Yeah, Grace recognizes Ramsey Truth too, I think. I'll catch up on what I missed on. Okay, Kathy, we're glad you're here. Ramsey Truth, I was just thinking about Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy. Yes, I say you know. Yes, we do. Yes, we knew your brother Jimmy. Rest in peace to Jimmy. In fact, Jimmy was on our channel for a while. We talked to him right before he passed away. He said he asked us to pray for him because his legs were hurting. Yeah. Yeah, that was your brother. Jimmy was your brother. I hope you're doing well. And I'm sure you missed Jimmy. You guys were close. He told us all about it. Yep. Yeah, Jimmy was a good man. That's right, he was. Yeah. So they're friends again now. Where is the makeup text? Exactly. Say it out loud. That's what I said. Where's the text that said, "Hey, bro, thinking about doing an interview," or "Hey, bro, see you got a channel." All right, tie dye, 2 a.m. Oh, that is late. It is 1:15 here. I'm going to get off here pretty soon too. Good night to Gammy. Say it out loud. Patrick forgives way too easy. If you knew him personally, you would know. Why, seeing how he got dissed and then kind of blew it off and talked to the guy and got dissed again and then blew it off and talked to the guy. Yeah, but still, you can't. That doesn't really count for all of it. But I do see that he. My snakes tonight was your snacks was grapes and peanut butter M&Ms. That sounds good. I got racks of the stacks and the snacks. All the Whitaker's money. Yep. I say you knew my brother. Yes, we did know your brother. It was wonderful. And he was so young. He wasn't even 30, was he? I think Jimmy was like 28 or 29. Wasn't he when he passed? I'm not sure. I was shocked. We knew him for a while. I just never knew he was that young until his obituary or whatever, or his death notice or what it was. I was surprised he was so young. Also, if Eric stayed longer, why didn't he once? Yeah, exactly. If Eric stayed longer, why didn't he once try to check on Betty? He claims he cared for all of them. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's all he wanted. One track mind. He wanted the goose that lays the golden eggs. Yep. Good night, Betty. You just mentioned Jimmy yesterday. Yeah, I knew I was thinking about him. Good night, Betty. Thanks so. You're on your lunch break? Oh, you must work the night shift, huh? Thanks for coming in, Ramsey. We yeah, and we used to see the shows that you did with your brother. I don't know if that stuff is still up, but yeah, we remember the Bible studies and all that you used to do with your brother. He was about to turn 30. Yep, he was only 29. I was shocked he was still in his 20s when he passed. About to turn 30. Yep. Rest in peace to Jimmy. Yep. Yeah. Well, I hope I hope things have gone good. I know you guys were tight, and then you I just can't imagine. It was just horrible. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna probably wrap it up in 3 hours and whatever we're at. I just don't want these to go too long because it's too hard for people to watch and catch up. But we could either go over Patrick's. I mean, you guys have seen him. You guys saw the interview with Patrick and Tim. No, we can either. Oh, row. Patrick. Wait a second. All right, here it is. All right, so we got episode 1, 2, 3. Okay, here it is. All right, that's an upcoming one. Okay, here's the one we want. So this one with Tim, he's still got the video up. It's on videos. This one with Tim here, we can either go over this, but I do have other things, other streams coming up. Tomorrow, I want to show, or whenever that I come back next, it might be tomorrow. My next live stream, I'm going to show you why Eric hasn't been arrested. Why I think he hasn't been arrested. And I'm pretty sure you're going to, I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Because like I said, I've looked into some stuff. Yeah, and I think I know why Eric hasn't been arrested. And I will go over that tomorrow or in the next live stream. Let me get back. Back on my stream right here. Okay. You missed a lot. Well, Kathy, yeah, I think what is it, 3 hours? I don't know. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. Today is technically Friday. It is, isn't it? Happy Friday. TGIF. I'm looking forward to this live talk. Yeah, it'll be interesting, and I'll show you why I think Eric hasn't been arrested, and it'll make you guys probably feel better about things, okay? Because I'm going to show you why he hasn't been arrested yet, but I'm going to show you that he's not out of the woods. So yeah, hey, that's about it. I think I'll wrap it up here because it's over 3 hours. I just know that it's hard for people to rewatch 5 hours of live stream, so I'm just gonna cut it off. And I don't know. Call it a night. So I want to say thanks for everybody coming in. Good night to Say It Out Loud, Kathy, Bridget. This thing is just all over the place. Everybody that I've already said hi to, I want to say goodbye to. Thank you, Aqua, for the $1.99. Aquatech, Jessica, Tina, Betty. I'm missing a bunch. I don't even want to miss anybody. I just want to say good night to everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. If you're listening on the replay, thanks for listening on the replay. Let me see. So yeah, maybe on the way out, I will. All right. So yeah, that should about do it. And also, like I said, not only about why Eric hasn't been arrested, but also we're gonna another live stream coming up. In case you missed when I came in, we'll also do another live stream. I'm gonna go over some stuff about the Amish that I've been looking at, and then also some other stuff about when when Eric was with the family those couple days. So we're going to go over that too. So we got a bunch of stuff we still have to cover. And we'll leave with this song here. Oh, it's too fast. These are the little people from the mountains of China. And they went viral on TikTok a couple of years ago. And anyway, I think they're cute, and I wish them success. All right. Good night, everybody. Also, Good night, everybody.